Thomas, the host. Jay Thomas, the host.
I can't stand it, I tell you.
I love you guys are the best.
Jay Thomas Show. It's the weirdest and the wildest. Horrible.
Call 888-STERN-101.
Your name is?
Jay Thomas.
The Jay Thomas Show.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas.
Well, I'm setting up my ellipsoidal reflector right now and turning to my... what studio are we in back there in New York? Studio One?
Studio One, yep.
Wow. From Studio One. Yeah. Shuli and Gianna back in New York. I'm coming to you very early from California. If you want to start listening or how does this work? This on-demand thing here at
I think it's like
on
the
Howard
clapper.
channel.
You do that and you're just like Jay Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
And then
I almost hate to recommend re-listening to anything on the Howard channel. I don't know that that's even a plus.
I'm not sure our show here is on demanded. No.
On demanded.
On demanded.
Yeah,
so don't. We're not on demand here.
No, but you can listen to our full week of shows on Stars too.
Yeah. Okay.
We're on demanded there.
Right. So if you want to hear that thing in the afternoon, you just go to Sirius On Demand, and they're giving you like a 30-day, free trial or whatever over there. So this one, the thing I worry about here is here in California, of course, I'm on from 4 until 7 a.m., and they don't run it, like on CNN or Fox or whatever. They kind of like rerun it, so you can hear it at the normal time. Yeah. They don't do that on the, if you're not up early, if you're not like homeless or coming in from a bar or something, you don't hear this show on the West Coast. That's another thing I can blame on why I'm not going anywhere. So, by the way, we talked about it yesterday. Lilo and is it Lilo and Stitch?
Lilo,
right? Lilo and Stitch.
Yeah.
6 minutes. Hardcore porn interrupted an episode on the Disney Channel, and only one person complained. So what's weird about that is it the only house that it happened in? No, it can't be true. It happened over the network, or now the investigation is, did it just happen in that person's home, or did it actually happen on the entire network? Because I can only find, maybe this is the only person they spoke to, and apparently while Lilo and Stitch was being played, hardcore porn just stayed on for 6 minutes. A woman said she heard things that should not be coming out of a cartoon show. She went into the room, and she saw that her baby was just sitting there, but her older son and daughter were screaming and crying.
Please.
At whatever was happening.
Rookies. Couldn't handle that shit, huh?
Did it happen through the entire network? I
think they have Dish Network.
Yeah.
So
it happened on Dish.
You never hear it the other way around, like a guy complaining that he was watching porn and, an episode of Reading Rainbow popped in the middle of it.
You fucking killed my boner, dude. I don't even know if I can even do it to porn again.
Where does that brain come from?
I don't know.
Well, years ago, the thing that would happen to people would be that, they would be looking for their family, video. And, the dad had been in there, videotaping his buddy's porn.
Yeah.
And you'd see the kids on a swing set, and then you'd see, like, double penetration.
Right, you hear kids play it, and then just that like, fuzz comes over the TV, and the next thing you hear is,
fuck her harder, Daryl.
Yeah. The whole family's like, what the? My daughter, she knows the YouTube app on my phone, and we have a whole playlist saved for her of all her favorite videos that she likes to watch. But she's managed to navigate YouTube on my phone to the point where she finds these cartoons that people splice in weird shit into them. Like all of a sudden I'll be hearing the Dora the Explorer theme song, and in the middle of it you hear 7 to 8 gunshots. Yeah, Dora. Yeah, And then I look over, and it's Dora being shot, the cartoon being shot on YouTube. Somebody put a 30-second video up. She always finds it. I don't know how she does it.
The big story this week was they found a little credit card-sized, I guess, a Coptic. I'm not sure who the Coptic Christians are. I mean, I guess I could have looked it up during the week, but I got busy.
With your own life?
Yeah, whatever.
Guy's making another movie to follow up the Muslim one.
Yeah.
Robo-Coptic.
So the big news is that Jesus had a wife, and it says it's just someone. Now it's 600 years later that this was written. The Bible, of course, was written 150 to 200 years after all of the shit hit the fan. I guess I don't know if was the Old Testament written.
What day
when was that?
Is shit hitting the fan exactly?
The day Christ died, I guess, was the fan fan hitting moment, and that is actually known as SFH. You know how BCE and all that? That's SFH when shit hits fan. My wife is all it says in this little thing that Jesus was talking, and he says, my wife. And they don't know, what was said before or after or anything, but it's caused a big thing because it's a big deal that he was celibate and that he never had sex. That's the weirdest part of the whole deal. It's like if you get laid, if you have sex, it's the most natural, normal thing that nature or God or whoever can do anything. And yet, if he had sex, it ruins the whole deal. And I don't. It's the truth. It's weird. And now they're going, well, he didn't mean his wife, and why wouldn't they talk about it? Now I heard a guy the other night say, well, he never spoke of his wife because he was afraid she'd be killed because he was a controversial figure. But
how about she just wasn't that interesting? Could that be the case?
I guess, yeah, right. And people, were wondering what the rest of the sentence was. Scott sent me this. Jay, do you think he might have been my wife doth call my name during sex? I said, I don't know. I have no. And people were asking me, what it doesn't mean any. It would ruin religion. That's the oddest thing. Now, do you realize that if you said something about Muhammad, that there would be some horrible, outcry and bombs would be thrown and people would be killed and everything? I mean, we're talking about Jesus being married. That's
But in fairness, he didn't finish writing, what he was.
My wife, no.
Like, I think it sounds like my wife won't shut the fuck up about taking out the garbage or something.
I don't. Yeah, I don't know. That's how he spoke. I don't think he would. Can you imagine? We go back. Jesus is this really foul-mouthed guy, I don't know what the fuck you people are thinking.
Walks in like Sinatra with a drink in one hand and had a cigarette.
What kind of drinks back then?
And he's just like, Judas, I have to, but you?
Yeah. Hey, by the way, I'm going to pretend it hurts when I'm on the cross. I don't feel a thing. I don't feel a thing.
Kennison had such a funny rap. I don't know if we have it or not.
Well, he was a former minister. A fire and brimstone, minister and stuff. By the way, for those of you that are religious, let me apologize to you right away because I mean, the reason why I think I can make fun of religion is that we see today what it's like. Almost everybody we revere, or people that are really incredibly righteous and religious and everything else, almost to the person, we eventually find out that they were human, not bad, but that they were human. And as long as we continue saying that, like in your religion, King David wasn't the greatest guy in the world, was he? Shuli, didn't he kill people? He had wives. There was intrigue, right? Espionage, murder. Isn't that true of King David? Wasn't it? It was more of a normal kind of taking over of the people, battling. Didn't he have armies and everything else, right?
I think he had like a small porn collection. Like, he wasn't all on the up and up.
No, I'm not saying he was a bad person.
Right.
But didn't he go to war? I mean, wasn't he like a real king and all, right?
To err is human. And the most human person in the world said that, Michael Jordan.
Yeah. So, in this thing, if he was married, it messes it up. Then somebody was saying, well, the reason why priests aren't allowed to marry, they were allowed to have families up until about 1100 A.D., and when they would die or something would happen, the wives and children were suing the church for money. They wanted either alimony, or they wanted to be taken care of, or they wanted to get the little house they were given or whatever. Yeah. So the Pope, it's almost like the Mormons do this when they needed those black wide receivers years ago and their basketball team was losing.
Yeah.
The prophet, like in 1972 or whatever, he suddenly gets a thing that, hey, blacks can be, a full member of the Mormon experience on earth. The next thing you know, they got 2 or 3 good receivers for Jim McMahon. So, that's and I guess the women's volleyball team wasn't winning. So they allowed women to get, that's true. The prophet is given this signal. Well, the Pope was given a signal that priests should not marry around 1100. And that stopped anybody, digging into the expenses of the church. But now, if you were to find out that Jesus was married, Gianna, would it affect you at all? Is he any less of a spiritual person because he had this wife at the house?
He's still not on my radar.
Yeah, I could care less, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's odd. It is odd. Now, if he had kids, we'd need to know where Jesus' kids are. Because you know what, Shuli, they had to be bad.
Oh, please. You know who my dad is? It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut up.
They had to be like driving the chariot too fast and drinking the wine out of the sheep's stomach bag or whatever
Jesus,
that thing is.
Who drank all the wine? And some kid, he's got his feet up.
Yeah.
He's like, just make more, Dad. It's a big deal.
Wait till Shuli has a teenager, right?
Just fucking touch something. It'll be wine, dude. Relax.
Well, I have my various children live downstairs in this apartment that I have, and it's almost like a dungeon animal kind of a thing. I don't like to go down there. And the washing machine and the dryer's down there too. But I hear noises, so I get up at 2:00 in the morning on Friday and get ready to come do the show, and I hear stuff downstairs. So this morning at around 3 a.m. I hear this downstairs. I go, hey, but I don't go down there. I just yell it, and I hear, what? I said, everything okay? And he goes, yeah, like that. So I went outside, and I only see his car. I don't see a girl's car. I don't see any friend's car. Uh-oh. He was by himself, apparently. And it didn't sound like he was watching a porn. It sounded like he was either laughing or he was crying. But I had no interest in finding out what the real... I just wanted to know.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure he was okay, like he wasn't choking.
Yeah, you wouldn't
that hold up in court.
You wouldn't make a good detective, that's for sure.
I don't want to go down those stairs.
Is that somebody screaming? I don't know.
Sounds like pry.
Once they were out of diapers, you were done, right?
Yeah, I think it's rude to just walk into somebody's home and look.
It wasn't porn, though.
Well, you know what it's like? It's like when people are sitting in the room with you, and I'm really lucky that my wife isn't like this. They want you to ask them about what they're reading, and they're in the room with you, and they go like this. Oh, man. Oh, boy. They want you to say, what's the matter? Oh, boy.
My wife gets me.
It kills
with
them
this
when you don't say it.
Every time. Every time my wife gets me with this, and every time I ask her what she's reading, I regret it so bad because.
Oh yeah.
Because here's what she does. This is her move. I go. Yeah. So what are you reading? And she's looking at either a magazine or a tablet, and she's like, "This is a story about a guy who." And then she continues reading.
Come on.
And now I'm hanging on with my fucking fingernails off the edge of a cliff, waiting to hear some story about a guy. And then she finishes reading, and she doesn't pick up where she left off. She starts even before that. So she's like, in the 1800s. And I'm like, listen, it was a simple question. What are you reading? Look, if you see me reading, what are you reading? Back of an aspirin bottle. Done deal. Over. And she says,
It's like people that laugh. They'll go like this. They'll go, oh, God. And you don't ask what it is.
Yeah.
It fucking kills them.
Yeah.
Do not ask.
And for a minute, I get mad at her. Then I'm like, you're the idiot. She's consistent. She's done this every time. Why you keep asking? You shouldn't be surprised.
Or you know that there's somebody in your family that hates the president or whatever, and you'll go visit their house. My mother-in-law is always angry at something happening, and she'll go like this with the paper. Go.
Oh my!
And you know what? I don't want to hear who she hates, what she hates. Go.
I remember fighting with my dad when Bush was running for a second term, and my, because he was so pro-Israel, my parents loved him, and they just had Fox News on a loop in that house 24/7, and it was like anything you mentioned, he would compare it to like the shitty candidates, like I'd be like, oh, my car broke down. Oh, John Kerry must have made it, huh?
Wow.
That's what happens when he touches things.
Derek in Philadelphia, it's the Jay Thomas Show, and there's a number that you dialed that I'm not aware of. But what is it, Al? What's the number? 888
Stern 101.
Stern 101. Also, there's something called the voice box, where if you dial 347-6-Sirius, is that right, Garrett?
Yep.
Right? Yeah. 24 hours a day. Let's say you think of something when we're not on the air, or you're still asleep in California. You'll be able to say it. No one's going to interrupt you, and then we'll play it back and listen to it and comment. It's called our voice box. Or go to jthomas.com, okay? Or go to jthomasshow@gmail, okay? Derek in Philadelphia. Yes, go ahead. Wait, you're all promoting shit. I might as well promote stuff, too. Go ahead, Derek. Yes.
Hey, first I want to say good morning to Gianna. Hey, bro, how you doing?
What's up, dude?
That made any sense.
It makes plenty of sense to us and to Covino and Rich. It makes nothing but sense. Go ahead, Derek.
I think that the card that was found was actually a transcription of Jesus' last text while he was driving.
Wow.
Because it just suddenly cuts off.
My wife.
Hi, I'm Jesus, and this was the last text I got.
It takes me
Wouldn't
2
it be
hours
something
to put
if-
a shirt on?
Yeah, what a fucking idiot.
You know what?
Seconds.
Here's what happened. He actually was texting, the car crashed, and he was impaled on something, and they go, all right, look, lift that up, and we'll say they killed him. Come on, lift it up, put it up there.
Yeah.
We found him impaled on this thing. Put it up there.
I love that. He went head on and crashed into a cross that just happened to be there.
Oh, my God, they've killed our Savior.
No one's going to believe this,
And he wasn't
Joey.
dead. He just was knocked out.
Yeah. No one's going to believe it. What if we nail it to it?
Here's the worst part of it. Here, I always believe in historical, revisions. What did he say? He said, well, what he really said was, I'm Spartacus. No, that's not what he said. Jesse of San Diego. Yes, sir. Go ahead, Jesse.
Hey, now. Yeah,
Hey, now.
I think Jesus is just as believable as Santa Claus, dude. And the people who wrote the Bible.
Good. By the way, it's 420 in San Diego.
It's going to be 420 tonight at Ronnie's block party. What's up, Shuli?
Shaggy.
There you go. Jesse, what are you doing up at 4:20 in the morning?
I took the day off so I can get ready for tonight and this weekend. I'm going to be at both block parties. I got blunts rolled. I got edibles.
Oh, well, say hello to Jesse, the newest VIP added to the list.
Hell yeah.
You know what? You know what's going to happen at 4:20 this afternoon, Jesse?
Right. Either that or Jesse shows up.
Who's the sports guy that used to be with Mad Dog that fell asleep this week?
Oh, Francesca, right?
Francesca. Yeah, Francesca. Is it Francesca? What's his name?
Francesca.
I don't know.
Yep.
Fatso is what I like to call him.
Yeah.
So old Fatso fell asleep. All right, Jesse. Thanks. Good luck. Sanders. Yeah, I know. Sanders of South. By the way, Garrett, when I say goodbye, try and turn the volume down.
Yeah, Garrett.
Yeah,
not up.
About that.
Yeah. Sanders of
Are you
South
retarded?
Carolina.
Should I put him up or down?
Hey, Sanders, you actually sound like when you pull into the plantation in South Carolina. Sanders, bring the horses around to the back. How do you get a name like Sanders?
Hey, the Colonel gave it to me, man.
The Colonel gave it to me.
Hey, Baba Shuli. I'm a big Shuli fan, man. But I do know a little bit about the Jesus thing. That was actually that's from the second of two shows where he was doing stand up, and the whole line is take my wife, please.
All right, there you go. There's Sanders. Thank you. By the way, Caitlin, Cato, I can't say his name right. Cato Kalin has announced that he now believes that O.J. Simpson killed his wife.
Oh, what timing?
Yeah.
It's all about timing, my friend. Good job.
18 years later.
It's not even that it's 18 years later. It's the fact that O.J.'s in a jail where he can't kill Cato. So Cato's like...
All right, now I can tell him.
Oh, is he still locked up? Oh, FYI, I think he did it.
Yeah, he has announced that...
I think the guy who pounded on your window at 4 a.m.
Where does this announcement occur? Because what is he doing? Where is he? Who's talking?
The statute of limitations has now passed.
Cato Kalin, he is changing his story. Now he says O.J. did it. Cato lived in O.J. Simpson's guest house back in 1994, and now he tells the New York Post that since he can't be prosecuted for perjury, he can say, yes, O.J. killed Nicole Simpson and Ron Goldman. He says he didn't tell them back then because he was scared.
Oh, my gosh, we're talking about this again. When will it ever go away?
It will never go away until O.J. confesses.
Who are these two?
It's never going to
Why would you run this?
Yeah.
Why did Jesus have to die? Those two
he
are
makes
alive.
a YouTube video. He puts it on Twitter. How does this come out?
Cato Kalin said that he was frightened for his life. People hated me. He was spat upon, and people threw gum in his coffee.
Yeah, because everybody knew he was lying. Everybody knew he was covering for O.J. That's why people hated him.
What did he say? What? I don't think he added or detracted. Didn't he say like nothing?
Just said how they went to McDonald's and he heard a thump outside the door, I think.
It was like 3 a.m. and O.J.'s fucking falling over his air conditioner outside his window, and it's not like he did that every night. And he's sitting there going, "Oh, there was nothing weird about that." Well, of course there was something weird about it.
Tell me he's going to have a book coming out or something, please.
Oh, he's starving for attention. Why not just fucking, at this point, just take it to your grave? You already lied and cheated a fucking 2 families out of justice.
Now, I've got to be, and I'll say this again, the most unsympathetic murder victim ever was Nicole Brown Simpson. Every photograph of her, she had this hoary kind of, it was almost a like her lip was up, almost like kind of a sneer, and whenever you saw a photograph of her, it was the most unpleasant looking thing. She just didn't look nice at all. And one of the reports that came out during the trial was that she and this her girlfriend apparently, they were supposedly, allegedly did blow and hanging out and everything else. They were talking about opening a Starbucks or a coffee place together, so that, and the reason why they were going to open it, now this is, a rumor and everything else, and maybe she even testified to this, the girlfriend, so they could meet, young guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, all this stuff was that she was...
You want to meet young guys? Open a Chuck E. Cheese.
A piece of ass, right? She was the most unsympathetic murder victim. So I don't think the jury ever looked upon her as somebody, the mother of children or whatever the fuck it was. I don't remember anyone going, oh, poor Nicole, except for her parents. Poor Nicole is dead. Do you remember anybody giving a shit about her personally?
No,
what a wonderful woman
like
she
Ron
was.
Goldman was really where the sympathy was because he was so innocent.
Yeah, his family
they said
doesn't care about her. You think they would bring her up too?
Never. No. Never at all.
Wasn't for her. Her son would still be alive. Their son would.
Yeah.
I mean, basically.
Well,
and I love that joke.
It wasn't for those sunglasses that she left.
Yeah. In the afterlife, he goes like this. Here's your fucking sunglasses.
Yeah.
That was my favorite joke.
Oh, hey.
But, we did have this guy on who wrote the book that said O.J.'s son did it. Mm-hmm. And it was pretty convincing. I mean, all of these, conspiracy
Which son?
theorists.
Khloe Kardashian? That one?
No. Hey, thank you. No, the kind of chubby son, he was wearing his dad's shoes, and there was supposedly a big party at a restaurant that night, and Nicole didn't show up at his restaurant.
I just killed my wife.
And how old was he then?
Down.
She went to another one. So
how old was the son then? Anybody know?
Yeah, like 17 or something, or 18.
He
was
old enough to kill.
So
he didn't do it.
But he disappeared after.
Judge Gianna. How old was he? 17. He didn't do it. Next case, please.
Wouldn't that be funny to have Judge Gianna, and they have real murder trials on television? And you go,
I would love it.
You don't look like a killer. Go about your business.
He raped my family in front of me, and I watched him chop them up and burn them. What day did he do this on? It was a Sunday. He didn't do it.
Wouldn't that be a great SNL spoof?
He's not chopping people up on Sunday. Next case, please.
By the way, in just a little while, we'll have Greg Hartley and Marianne Carench on.
Nice.
Their new book is How to Spot a Liar.
Hopefully they're a happily married couple, unlike last week.
Oh, by the way, that woman who came on, who was teaching S&M and psychology, I think she went on a show on Sirius. Is there a show called Just Jenny or something like that?
Yeah.
And put me down.
Oh, that's awesome.
I must have
said stuff about
That's Jenny Koppelman, yeah.
Yeah. And what's weird is you mean to tell me that Koppelman has this woman on there and acts like going to a psychologist who tells you to tie your wife up is going to help your marriage is like a valid person? I mean, she wasn't even fun about it. Yeah. We'll find out. Oh, by the way, Garrett, now with the on-demand thing,
that's what I'm looking up right now.
Could go back and look at it. Ever caught a spouse, a business partner, a parent, a boss, or a child brazenly lying in your face? These two people, this guy worked for the Navy SEALs. And they're, by the way, they're both from Catholic school, Shuli.
Mm-hmm.
And she, for many years,
equals Catholic school. I say it every time.
She competed in the National Physique Committee bodybuilding events. And then from Night Moves in New York, which is a strip club, they are not paying certain taxes because they say that stripping is a protected art form.
What's his name again?
Yeah, isn't it protected by the mob?
Stephen Dick Jr. will be here. Is he the owner or the attorney? He's the owner of Night Moves New York. And he says that his sales tax exemption covers dramatic or musical art performances that are certainly choreographed, and thus they are art. And then the government says he owes like $400,000 in back taxes.
I mean, look, in all fairness,
not true. Wait a minute, not true. Says Cheyenne, Destiny, Gianna, Kant, Liaza, Madison, Mercedes, Nia, Riley, Samantha, Savannah, Selena, Taylor, Victoria, Faith, Elise, Assis, Kylie, Myra, and Rumor. They say no.
Skyler.
Rumor. Yeah, Rumor. Yes, let's go to Travis, who is in Washington State. Yes, Travis, good morning.
Morning to everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, I just curious what your response would have been to this, or if this happened to any of you. So last Friday I came home work a couple hours early. My 17-year-old son had his stereo blazing. So I walk inside. Normally I knock on his door, but I just open up his door to tell him to turn his stereo down, and here he had his yo-yo out, and he was just finishing all over his belly.
God.
Oh, nice. You know what? No, never open the door. I've never opened.
What time of the day was it, sir? Maybe he did.
Get him a wet rag.
Here's how I would have handled it, and you would have never had this situation again.
Did you help him clean up?
He opened the door, his volcano's erupting on his belly, and you just look at him and go, "Scoot over, son," and you would have never
put your arm around his shoulder.
He would never look at his dick, much less jerk it again.
So, Travis, here's my question. We don't know. I mean, I'm sure you closed the door. It's the
Make
30
some
minutes.
Room, Daddy's joining in.
Travis, it's 30 minutes later or at dinner time. What was the eye contact like later?
Well, I went back to his room to just tell him everything's all right. Don't be embarrassed. I'm not.
Don't get it in your eye.
And wait a minute. Let's go around the horn. When he went back to the room, let's go around the horn, everybody. Don't say anything. He goes back to say everything is all right. Gianna, what do you think the son said to his dad, or what do you think he saw when he went back into the room?
I don't know what you're talking about.
That's what this kid said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Shuli, what do you think was said when he went back in the room?
I think two things. One, he walked back in, and the kid had a belt around his neck like the lead singer of INXS, hanging by the door.
I was going to say the same thing. His son was hanging, had killed himself. Yeah, that's the other. Garrett, did you have kill yourself?
Or he used the line.
I was going to say,
or he used the line Judge Reinhold did in Fast Times at Ridgemont High when he got caught jerking off. Doesn't anybody knock anymore?
Yeah. Well, what is it, Garrett? What is it?
Sort of tasted funny.
Oh, man.
Of course Garrett goes there.
You know what, Al? I can feel you sweating from 3,000 miles away, so I won't even ask you what you thought. All right. Now, Al, by the way, when I go around the horn, if you do want to join in, just raise one of your chubby little arms, and I'll call on you. All right? Travis, what is it that your son said later on? What was the response?
He actually wouldn't say anything. He wouldn't even answer his door.
How old was he?
17.
Then he didn't do it.
Wow. But wait a minute. What about the next day or that night or whatever? There had to be
How many days has it been?
some interaction between you and your son.
He wouldn't come out for dinner, and then he didn't even come out for a couple hours, and everything was just kind of cool after that. We restore cars together, and the next day we just started working together.
Yeah, how do you look at him with a straight face and go, "Hey, buff that out for me"?
Well, the worst is picturing that image in my head all week long. All of a sudden, on top of my head, of my son with his pecker in his hand and just finishing. That's the worst
try
part.
walking in on a group of six kids in a circle jerk. That happened to me as a camp counselor once.
How old were they?
They were like fucking. I think they were 13.
Oh. Was that camp blowjob that
it was camp gather around and whip your dick out.
Was there a cracker in the middle?
Please. Garrett, really.
He's on to something, though. That is
really weird.
That is a popular game with the kids.
Yeah, whoever finishes last has to
that's
the cracker.
What is the game?
Soil the cracker.
Everyone goes on the cracker, and the last guy to go on the cracker has to eat it.
And in some foreign countries, they call it oogie cookie.
You know, they keep finding these people that were connected to Sandusky at Penn State, right? It's almost like six degrees of separation from Kevin Bacon. I'm expecting Garrett's name to come up any moment in the investigation. Yeah, and by the way, an unheard of broadcaster.
Garrett bought a Jets jersey at a Modell's where Sandusky raped a kid.
Hey, Travis, I think you ought to start dropping little things to your son like, hey, son, if ever you have a child, why don't you call it Naval? Just drop things to him. Well, thanks for sharing, Travis. And let's go now to our conspiracy theorists. Jesse, I don't believe this is really Jesse Ventura, but it says he wants to discuss this conspiracy. Yes, Jesse, go ahead.
Hello, Jay.
Oh, this is
it sounds.
Did you know that O.J. did not kill Nicole? You know who did?
Who, Jesse?
SEAL Team 6. She found out where the death ray was.
Death ray.
Well, all right, there you go. Okay, well, we'll have audio and video. We'll also have the voice box. And Randy Newman's newest song, I'm Dreaming of a White President. Stay where you are.
I'm reading this, and it's an exciting story, but I read it and I thought, I know Jesus was never married. Guy never had a wife. No one. Was never married. Because no wife would buy this story in 100 years. The disciples will, the believers will. No wife would buy this fucking story. Good luck. Good luck with this story. First of all, he leaves on Friday afternoon with 12 other guys. He's gone for 3 days. No message. No way to get in touch with her. He comes home Monday afternoon looking like he hasn't slept. Seems like he's partied out, man. And Mrs. Jesus is just waiting, going, oh, okay, I guess it's day 3 of this show. Great. Well, I'm glad you could find your way home, Savior. Where's your 12 friends who won't get a job? How are they? Yeah, disciples, my ass. They're losers. Every one of them are using you. You're not even smart enough to know it. Anybody says, I believe, we put them up and feed them. I'm secular. Where are you at? Jesus is going, I don't need this shit. Not after what I went through this weekend. No, honey, I'll tell you where I've been. Come here. Come here. Come here. I'll tell you where I've been. First of all, not that it ruined your weekend any, but I was dead! Do you understand that, you fucking bitch? I was dead! While you were sitting here on your ass, I'm in a grave, outside of town, I'm fighting death, hell, decomposer, I'm about to come in a spiritual form and go in the kingdom of God. I go, wait a second, I better go back because she doesn't know where I've been. So now I gotta fight the angel of death, get my fucking soul back, crawl out of a grave, come home to this shit because I missed you, honey!
Tasteless plugs and monogrammed mugs. This is the J. Thomas Show.
Coincidence? I think not.
Howard 101. The J. Thomas Show.
J. Thomas.
What a ridiculous way to start a day.
J. Thomas. Howard 101.
I may be one of the few talents at Sirius XM who has a demand to be on demand. I just thought of that. I opened up with this big promo they told me to read about on demand, and Gary goes, you know, Jay, you're not a part of that. Oh, all right, well. Okay, thanks. Let's go to John in the Bronx. Yes, John, Jay Thomas here, 888. Now, it's 783-7610 is the number. Yes, go ahead, John in the Bronx.
Good morning, Jay. I know Gianna, I'm pretty sure, is Italian with the background. I was just wondering if you're going to be honoring Christopher Columbus by coming down to see the statue. They put a living room around it.
I live right near there. I don't get this thing.
He was a murderer, for Christ's sakes. Christopher Columbus, after his second or third trip with his son to the New World, I believe was brought back to Spain or Italy in chains and ended up, I don't know, almost dying in prison. I mean, he brought pestilence, disease, he had slaves. It's like, why don't we fucking have, Al Capone Day, to be honest.
John, I thought you were going to ask me if I was going to the Feast of San Gennaro this evening.
I guess no one's going to deal with the fact that I'm against Columbus Day. I give this big speech just now, and I hear fucking San Gennaro. Did you hear what I said? Columbus is a villain. Hello? He's a villain. He's a villain.
Yeah, I just don't understand why they would build a living room around this guy up on a pedestal so you could sit down and have coffee with Columbus's statue.
Where is this?
It's
Where
in the middle of Columbus Circle in front of Time Warner.
They have built a living room around the statue. So what? You can.
But isn't it above the ground? Like you walk up some steps, John?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You have to take an elevator.
It's so strange, Jay.
You know what I would like?
I'll take Ira there today.
Here's what would make the Columbus statue living room experience even more unforgettable. You go up to the thing and you sit around Columbus, just like the poor natives of the country of Colombia, wherever island they landed on. And when you walk down, you have syphilis. That would make the experience.
Syphilis and a treasure map.
Exactly. All right, there you go. By the way, ex-porn star says that the Patriots, Gronkowski, over the weekend, dropped balls and lost the game because he was thinking of her. Gronkowski apparently likes these porno stars, and of course he's he's a big franchise player there, isn't he, Garrett, for the Patriots? I mean, he's right next to Tom Brady. Yeah, he's the guy. And does he like these the skin flick actresses? He's like big with them.
I know. Last year on the way to the Super Bowl, he was with this actress Bibi Jones that posts naked pictures of herself all the time on Twitter, and then all of a sudden it was her in his jersey with him shirtless next to her, arm in arm, and then for a few weeks they were pictured together.
Is there really such thing as an ex-porn star, though?
Well,
you just retire.
Yeah, it's like, I'm an ex-pedophile. I don't really bang kids anymore. I retired from that.
We had Dave Attell on yesterday talking about the old porn show that he does.
I just bumped into him downstairs smoking a cigarette.
And he was saying that, they still do stuff, but, they are, how old is Seka, whatever her name is?
Seka.
Bazillion years old. Is she over fab and over 40?
She was 40 when I was a kid.
Okay. So she's still out there. And, I don't think so many guys want to, have them in the movies. So you're ex because you don't work anymore. That's what the ex is. You'd still like to do it.
Good point.
Marilyn Chambers can't be found. That's what he said to me. Now, I almost worked with her. I was going to be her opening act in Vegas. They were hiring me years ago. And I was telling Dave that when I sat with her for the interview with her husband, who had been married to Linda Lovelace, how about this guy, and who was also her manager.
Smooth transition
trainer.
For this guy.
And she was going to have a singing thing because she had a couple of hit records, and they needed an opening act in Vegas, and I was one of the 2 or 3 guys they were talking to, and we had meetings and stuff. And when I would sit with her, there are these women, and you watch the porns, they were just built for it. It's not that they're just attractive or whatever. It's the way that their mouth is shaped. It's the way that they look at you. They were built for porn. And when she stared at you, I'm telling you, it was like, first of all, you were the only guy in the room, and without doing anything, her eyes turned you on just the way she looked at you. I don't even know if it was the pornos or whatever, but it was amazing. So to me, in a way, the ones that are really good, they are actresses, and there's not a lot of them, but the ones that are, when they look at the camera, they're actresses. And I think Marilyn Chambers was one of those people. Yeah, that's what I think.
It'd be great if in the meeting you're like, all right, so Jay, we need you to open. You go, okay, here's my vision.
Mm-hmm.
We dim the lights, smoke, lasers. I come out of Marilyn's vagina on stage and start singing Candyman.
I think there's a reason why Marilyn Chambers can't be found.
Why?
She died in 2009.
What did she die of?
That's just what she wants you to think, Garrett.
What did she die of?
I don't know. I just put her in Wiki. Found dead in her home near Santa Clarita.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Shout
right
out
outside
Santa
of
Clarita.
How did she die?
Discovered by her 17-year-old daughter, died of a cerebral hemorrhage and an aneurysm related to heart disease.
Wow.
Must be a new fetish in porn.
10 days away from her 57th birthday, Vicodin and antidepressant
heart disease
were found in her bloodstream, but not enough to cause death.
That's
right.
What they say.
I'm sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That heart disease works every time.
And why are they're all so on. Here's the weird thing.
Didn't Heath Ledger die from heart disease too?
Let's say you're starting out as a porn star, right? You're starting out, and you really want to do it. You want to suck penises. You want to eat other women. You want to, be naked. And you're going to get this big fan base.
You reading Garrett's resume again?
Why wouldn't you? I say the same thing for dictators. Why wouldn't you watch or read about those that preceded you? Yeah. And go, okay, look, I'm about to become either a porn star or a dictator. Let me read what, oh my God, most of them die horrifying deaths, right? Either the dictator is eventually murdered, by his, the people that he treats like shit, or the porn star eventually dies like Marilyn Chambers, or we're making fun of her or whatever. All they've got to do is, it's like when people say to me, I go, why do you think everyone's so poor? And I don't understand why you're poor. That's what TV is for. You sit down, you look at television, and you see what you're supposed to act like. Why would you be a gangster? On television, every gangster is caught. every black kid that sells drugs in every movie, it never turns out well for him. So why don't they just watch movies? And then that would be how you live your life.
It's the exact mentality that I took into stand-up when I started, is I would watch the guys on before me, and if they were doing something similar to what I had, and they were bombing, then I knew not to go up there and try that bit.
But I'm really more talking about the lifestyle. Like if you're like, we have them on all, like Brie Olson, who I think is fabulous. I think she's funny, she's really cute, and everything else. I bet you one day you'll read when she's 55 years old, some horrible shit happens to her. Well, it's almost impossible.
It's like, it's bookends. Their life starts out with something horrible happening to them. That sends them down that porn road, and then when they're done walking that road, another horrible thing happens to them. There's nobody that had a perfect upbringing.
But what about the movies, the TV shows? What about what people say about a stripper or a drug addict or whatever?
And that'll never change.
They listen? They don't listen? They don't hear anything? I mean, would I be so stupid? Look, I knew I knew this. If I stayed in radio, I might have had money, but I would have either been the #1 DJ in Charlotte, North Carolina, and owned the station and all that, and of course been so fucking miserable I'd want to throw a rope over the rafters of my stud farm that I owned in wherever the fuck, right? Or if I'd have stayed a DJ, I would be one of these fucking guys at an oldie station right now, right?
With a ton of reverb on your voice.
All of it. And I might have been wealthy, but I remember looking, going, you know what? I like being in radio. I don't like that. So I really did that. I mean, that's not a joke. I just said, man, I don't want to end up like that. So, you do all these, people go, why did you do these other things? How would you like to be Shotgun Tom Kelly or whoever the fuck those guys are? The guy still works in the afternoon, and he has to still sound 25 years old every day. You'd have to shoot my fucking ass up with goddamn Coke adrenaline. Boy, that sounds delicious. But you'd have to shoot me up every day to keep yelling and screaming and playing oldies. So I saw, that's all. I saw now you, Shuli, you must have seen the road ahead of heroin-inflicted, comedians and stuff. Did that make you, decide, well, no, I think you've just gone on a terrible track. But nonetheless, I just think, did it make you think anything about what could happen in the future as a comedian?
Yeah, it definitely made me question things, when I would, like, for example, work with Artie when he was, in the throes of heroin.
Zone.
Yeah, and it was like, here we are at these amazing venues, making really good money, and the guy was miserable. The guy hated every second of it. And I would just look at him and I'd go, this is something I'm shooting for. Is this what I have waiting for me? Like, is this, you finally get there and everything sucks? Like, I don't know.
You know what stopped you from doing that? Once you get married and have a kid, this whole new set of problems rears its head. And these, I hate to say it this way, I'm married with children, but these people, they actually ruin your chance of being destroyed by yourself.
Well, that and the fact that
your family looks so dangerous to you after you have a family that either you completely abandon them, or when you get into their shit, there's no destruction you could plan for yourself that these bastards, don't come to almost every day. Like this morning, hearing this howling from down below in my house. I really didn't want to walk down there and see what could have been going on.
The family was definitely a factor. The other factor in me never trying heroin is I can't afford the fucking heroin, so fuck it.
Well, there you go. All right. And Gianna, you're the same. That's why you wrote Fab, Fit, Falling Downstairs
no, Jay,
Over 40.
I'm the person who saw the movies as a teenager. I said, I shouldn't do that.
Well, my dad, I remember when I got hired to deal blackjack at the Barbary Coast in Vegas, and my dad, yeah, and I'm putting my cummerbund on and my arm, things, whatever they're called, and my dad looks at me and he goes, let me tell you one thing. Everyone will tell you, learn from your mistakes. Keep your mouth shut and learn from everyone else's mistakes. Just watch. don't make mistakes. And I'd say, all right, well, that's fine. You know, he had these little sayings, like when I would ball up a napkin from the dinner table and shoot it to the trash can, and I'd miss. As I'm walking to go throw it away, he would tell me in Hebrew, a lazy man does everything twice.
Wow.
And I'd be like, I'd get so pissed because I knew he was right. You know, I knew he was fucking right.
Smart.
Well,
But I implied that.
I'm going to give you an example of a huge star who everyone could see this coming, and yet this person, and I work with him, the guy's still alive.
Lindsay Lohan.
Still no.
Oh, go ahead.
When I was on Cheers, I worked with Kelsey Grammer. And what a wonderful guy. What a fabulous guy. And I heard all these stories. Something happened horrible to his family.
Right.
People murdered or suicide, like a mother, father, sister, brother, something horrible. But he was this great guy and this great actor. And he would always be in some crazy situation with some wild woman. And one day he came in and he had a big bandage on his arm and said somebody he was with had bitten him or something. All this kind of crazy stuff. And he would always be marrying a dancer. And I'm so stupid. And it took me years. In fact, I think you told me this. When they say they're dancers, they mean strippers.
Pretty much.
I thought they meant dancers like whatever. So he either married or he was with.
Yeah, unless you're on a stage on Broadway and you're talking to a girl and she says she's a dancer in that show, she's probably a stripper otherwise.
But Kelsey was into that. Right?
Yeah,
he was into it. The other night, he would not go on Piers Morgan because they showed a picture of his ex-wife Camille in the opening of the show. It might have even been with him, right? He refused to go on because now remember, she was a dancer when he married her.
I think the new category of entertainment is bimbo.
No, but the thing is that he. How did he think that was going to turn out? Even given all
But she actually classed herself up.
Oh, stop!
She did.
Please. Oh God.
She speaks well.
Oh,
she dresses better.
Oh, well, then
bullshit.
Then she deserves
She took
$80
care
million.
of their homes.
Stop it.
Took care of their homes.
Don't ever defend
Camille.
Homes, please.
Do you think Brie Olson could hook up with someone like
Gianna, you
him?
honestly think that Camille...
I would go with Brie Olson before I would go with Camille Grammer.
You think she dusted or fucking cleaned anything in
No, but
any of
Kelsey
their
was working and she handled the workers.
I'm sure she handled them all right. That's
Gianna,
Brie Olson
Gianna,
is going to be
please.
partying with the workers.
Gianna, I'd back you if you defended Charlie Manson before this fucking broad.
Wow. Unbelievable.
So what do you make of him running out like that?
They're both idiots, first of all.
I think that he's trying to run away from who he really is. It would have been much cooler for him to sit down,
who he really
look
is.
into the camera and say, like I think I would go, yeah, I wonder what I was thinking for the first 35 years of my life or something, right? I mean, put her down and say, not only did I have her, she was a stripper, by the way, Piers. Not only did I had this other one. It's almost like Tiger Woods never has joked or even mentioned he fucked 87 women. There's a real number. It's like 87. There was like 48 in the United States and another 40 around the world. He's never joked or anything. So I think he literally was running away psychologically and physically, ran away from Piers Morgan the other night because of the picture of his wife.
He's been running from who he truly is for years now, and who he truly is apparently a strip club DJ because he is banging every dancer that he can.
Now Piers Morgan, who I just saw for a few minutes when I was in Charlotte at the convention, just as the oddest guy. I don't know why. He looks disinterested. He's like fiddling with his pen.
He oozes creep. I'm sorry.
There's a panel sitting next to him. There are people all around him. He wasn't rude. He just had no interest in anybody around him. And he was just getting ready to talk, on his normal show. He said, extraordinary. I've never had this happen before. I like Kelsey Grammer. Does this sound anything like him?
Happened for Piers.
Oh,
he was shockingly unprofessional. That's what he said.
His best of show is just going to be all empty chairs across from him. Going, well, I had questions lined up for,
By the way, next week we'll have a man on who has been hanging an empty chair in his front lawn.
We got him.
No need to explain anymore.
We're going to get
perfect sense.
He lynched an empty chair to show his disdain for the president.
Oh, I thought he wasn't a Clint Eastwood fan.
Al, we'll go away, and then we have audio or video.
Yep.
When we come back. Stay with us.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Come and get me!
Attacking Anderson Cooper like a pack of angry Egyptians.
Howard 101. Jay. Nothing for Jay. Let me tell you why. He's the best of all the guys. What? The Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas.
Howard 101.
Now, coming up, she was a bodybuilder, and he was with the SEAL team and all. How to spot a liar, why people don't tell the truth, and how you can catch them. Coming up. Plus, is a strip club, do they deserve to be tax exempt? Because it is actually an art show that you're watching. And the Night Moves Club in New York, Stephen Dick Jr. will be here because he's in the middle of a huge lawsuit.
I've been to art shows. I've been to strip clubs. I've never had to change my underwear at an art show.
You know,
keep that in mind, everyone.
The Museum of Modern Art, which they call MoMA.
Yeah.
They'll always have stuff, and years ago, my wife gave me it's like a credit card thing. I'm a member of the museum because in our neighborhood the museum is there. So I go over and see the stuff, and I got this little free card to get in. So I've been going for years, and most of the stuff's kind of weird. There'll be a dot, or they'll show a radio, and they'll show all the tubes, and it'll be like, that's art. They took the top of the radio off or something. But the one I went to recently, this was like the last time I was in town, like 7-8 months ago, I think during the summer, this woman sat in a chair, and you sat across from her. And she wore like kind of maybe a 1940s outfit or whatever. And you just stared at her. You just sat there, and that was the artwork.
So dumb.
And there was a big line, and the day that I went, there was only 5 or 6 people. And so I go, well, fuck it, I got in the line. And so I got in the line, and it was my turn, and she didn't speak. And I remember she had really red lipstick, and I just sat there, and it wasn't cool to say anything. They said this is not a joke or whatever.
I would definitely say something.
Well, but that's not what the group was. But there's that one, and then there's a whole new thing of art where you go and it's a messy room, like it's a 17-year-old's room, and they're saying that what I'm saying is that art? I mean, I don't consider that art.
Anything is.
Well, they get like a grant for that, or they get some tax exemption that this strip club guy is going, well, fuck it. Didn't they make Jesus out of elephant shit in Brooklyn or something? And everybody went crazy, right? That was a guy that got some sort of, money for art. So, yeah, I guess,
There was one exhibit where 2 naked people stood on the side of a doorway entrance, and to get to the exhibit, you had to squeeze by them as they just stood there naked.
That was art.
That was art, yeah.
That's a fucking lawsuit, if you ask me.
I think Stephen Dick Jr., I'm on the winning side with him.
Well, have strippers standing at the entrance, and I rub up against them when I walk in, and now we're talking art.
So this week they announced back in Europe that a French magazine has to turn over all the pictures of the Duchess of Cambridge, Catherine, Kate Nippleton, has to turn in all the pictures of her tits that they have back to the authorities in France. And then the authorities in France, after they jerk off on it, are going to send it back to the William. That's right. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to call in that... and Berlusconi, the guy from Italy, it's his magazine that has the tit pictures. So, and as I said during the week...
Well, there's a magazine in the States, by the way, that has...
what? Had the pictures?
No, they have pictures of Camilla that they're going to publish.
Sweet. Really?
Yeah, in Field and Stream. So...
I thought it would be, you know what? I thought it was going to be Flapjack magazine.
No, I'm kidding. The magazine's called I Wouldn't Fuck Her With Your Dick Weekly.
So then Catherine and William, they go to the Solomon Islands, which yesterday we found out was a English protectorate, but during World War II they fought there. And no matter how many years have passed, apparently these poor bastards still live like they did, I don't know, whatever, 1,000 years ago. They're in, dugout canoes. They're all jumping around with spears and stuff. Do we have the sound of Catherine, Kate, visiting the Solomon? All the people jumping around.
Show us your titties.
Yeah.
Show us your titties, princess.
There you go. And then the girls come out to dance for Kate and for William. And guess what? Gianna, guess what?
They're black.
What, Jay?
They're topless.
Oh,
all the little
God, you're
girls,
kidding.
they're out there flapping their little titties. They apparently don't get Closer magazine from, Italy or France or whatever.
No, actually, they do this whole routine with clothes on. She was there, so they figured.
In honor
of Kate's and her tits. Let's whip them out.
But, Gianna, I have no idea what your body looks like unclothed, and I'm not
Very
interested in
beautiful.
getting I'm sure it is. But, there's some women whose bodies you really want to look at and go ooh and ah and everything else. Kate's body is just okay. And her boobs are just, it's all okay. There's nothing titillating about, her
free
her
tits
body.
are always okay. It doesn't
Really?
matter what the vote.
Really?
What
Well, maybe so. I don't
free.
know.
No, don't you look at him like,
By the way, there was a woman who was arrested, a 77-year-old woman, and was this in Texas, Al? Where did it happen? I mean, this is really bad. This is real, and the guy not only has one camera. There's one camera on his cruiser. The other camera is on his vest.
Mm-hmm.
And the vest camera had just started within the last couple of months. So it's great sound. It's almost in Technicolor. It's so fantastic. HD. And so he's got two cameras on him. Al, where was he when he decided the woman was not doing what she was told?
I didn't say where, but it's definitely in the South.
I know it's in the South, but I thought it might have been Texas.
The Keene Police Department? I don't know.
Keene County?
Keene.
I think it is Texas. So he pulls her over. Now, this guy had to have a bad day. But what's odd is he must have, when people say,
New
how do
Hampshire.
these reality...
New Hampshire?
Really?
Well,
Really?
I Googled Keene Police Department.
No. It's not New Hampshire. But the thing is when people ask me, how do they get them to act like that in a reality show? I think you forget that the camera's there after a very short time. That's all I can figure. So listen to him pull over a 77-year-old grandmother coming home from her church choir group. All right.
Hello, Sergeant Gahabe, King Police Department. Touch my laser 66 when you top the hill back there, and this is 50 miles on through here.
All right, let's hurry up. I've got to go to the bathroom.
Let me see your driver license and insurance, please.
I have a bladder infection.
Let me see your driver license and insurance,
Well,
please.
you listen to me.
No, I want to see your driver license and insurance, please. Then I'll listen to you.
Why? Why are you going to wait?
I'm gonna write. Give me your driver license.
I'll give it to you in a minute.
No, you give it to me now. I'm gonna take you to jail.
Well, go ahead.
Okay. Step out of the vehicle. Get 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 out of the vehicle. You want to play this way? Come on. Get out of the vehicle. Get out of the vehicle.
Pull her arm. Grab her arm.
Get out of the vehicle.
I'm going to report you.
Poke her boob.
Okay. Step out of the vehicle.
My arm.
Get her.
Get out of the vehicle.
I will not.
Grab her.
Get out of the vehicle, lady. 555, I need back up. Oh! Get out of the car, lady.
He's shoving her face into the horn.
You're under arrest. Get out of the vehicle. Put your hands on your back, lady.
I hope the guys at the station never let him live this down.
Oh, my God. Wasn't. You refused to give me your license. Now you get to go to jail.
You didn't give me time to do it.
I asked you for it. You said you'll give it to me when you get a chance. That's not the way it works.
Wow.
Well, this guy must be a joy at home, huh?
I'm going to take your purse with you.
Turn the car off.
I'm going to take your car.
Like it's his first arrest.
Oh, my God. You know what? There's something about old people when they moan that, and look, I know they're hurt.
You're hurting me.
Yeah, no, when he pulls her arm, and she goes,
Shut up.
oh, man. Now, I have no idea what happened after all this. This guy's got to be in some really bad trouble, right? He goes, fuck. But it sounds so normal, You know,
he had a call
How
the
you
following
doing?
day to the rest home. He brought the SWAT team with him. They rappelled in through the windows.
But how
Let's
long
go
did
to
he
David.
Put up with her?
By the way, within of 2 seconds, that's all he did.
That's
Within
what I mean. He gave her- she
the
gave
realm,
no choice.
there is the Gumbo Radio Network that we have stringers at that work for us all over the country. David of Texas, how close are you to Keene, Texas right now, the county of Keene? How close are you?
Keene is actually Johnson County. I live in Cleveland, right next to that.
Yeah.
And,
See that, Shuli?
like
the
5
tentacles,
minutes.
the tentacles of the
Not
show.
even
out
5
there.
minutes.
Yeah. So now you were there for the horrifying event. I'm sure it's been played a number of times. What happened to that policeman?
Well, they're all dicks over there.
They're all dicks in the whole area.
The whole town of Keene is basically all Seventh-day Adventists, and their police department's well-known assholes.
Seems like the residents are a bit of assholes.
So
too.
Seventh-day Adventists
The whole town.
have congregated in Keene. By the way, whatever David is saying, and even though he is one of the tentacles of the J. Thomas empire, we have we can't verify any
It
of
says
this.
she was hurt during the arrest, and she's not filing a lawsuit right now, but isn't ruling it out in the future.
That means they found blow in that car.
That's right.
She's not
So
suing.
now, all of these Seventh-day Adventists, they just take no shit from anyone, apparently, David, right?
I don't know if the police department are Seventh-day Adventists, but, you know, they definitely, the police department doesn't take any shit off anybody.
Well, there you go. So how do you feel about that? Do you feel as though that the guy should be reprimanded, or did the old bitch deserve it?
Well, if that was my mother, I wouldn't be very happy about it.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
What is your
That's like
license
saying
and registration? 1 minute. All right, come with me. You're going to jail.
That's like when you tell someone, you know, I'm against the death penalty, and then they go, well, if it was your mother, would you still be against it? Yeah, I mean, you either got to be for or against it, whether it's your mother or not, David. So
Well,
in Texas, are you for what happened to that old woman, or are you against it?
Well, she wasn't very cooperative. Anybody
Thank
else
you very. You know what, David? Thank you. You may step down, David. Thank
Let's
you.
not live in this bubble that old people can't do anything wrong, and that they're
So David doesn't think she was
no such
cooperative,
thing as
Gianna.
criminals.
So he sees her as not cooperative.
Apparently, no one's ever had a conversation with her.
I'm going to show you my license in a minute.
I have to go to the bathroom.
I have a bladder infection. I will piss all over myself. Do you understand that?
She sounded like Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie.
Oh, hello, darling.
Now,
Hello,
this is
darling.
a YouTube.
By the way, Al, can you get a little bit of Tootsie and a little bit of the lady, and we'll go back and forth, and we'll see if you can decipher which is which. Yes, go ahead, Garrett. What is it?
This is a YouTube comment, but it is the top comment on the video. After she was cuffed, the captain came, she showed her ID, and was issued 2 tickets, released, and never peed.
She never pissed.
So
wow.
She didn't get taken to jail.
Let's go to Captain Jenks, who wants to stick up for the police. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, good morning. You know, when a police officer tells you to do something, you got to do it. That doesn't apply to you if you're under 60. You know, and that woman.
Yeah. He
woman,
shouldn't have done that to her. That's ridiculous.
But the bottom line is, especially here in Philly, where a lot of police officers recently have been shot and killed, these police officers got wives and kids at home. They don't know who's packing a gun and who's not. You know? Everybody lies.
You sound just like the TSA guys when I worked at the airport that would wand these old broads. They had them fucking. They'd make me help them pull them out of the wheelchair I was pushing them in, and I'm like, I'm looking at the guy, I'm going, even if she rushes the cockpit, she won't get there till we land. Like, what the fuck are you worried about?
You know, you can't do it, but you see them checking somebody at the airport, and you really want, like, they got this poor guy. He had an aluminum walker. He was about 80. They had his walker there. And when the guy starts to put the wand, I wanted to go like this. Bam! Yeah. You know, I would love to see, it would be at least nice to see an old person, combust like spontaneously combust at the airport just one time.
Although the one time they pulled a big ass steak knife out of this old lady's purse one time, and they go, Miss, you know you can't fly with this. She goes, I don't even remember that I had that. And I mean, this thing was a huge knife. It's like a carving knife. It was huge.
Josh of Idaho. Yes, Josh. Good morning. Yes, sir.
How we doing today, sir?
We're perfect.
Calm
yes.
down.
Yeah.
Hey, so my great grandma's about 87 years old. I live in this little ass town. Anyway, this young guy pulled her over in the parking lot. She didn't even see him at the little grocery store, and she started talking to her old friend. And the guy came up to her and was asking her. He said, "What the hell do you want? Leave me alone. We're trying to talk. What do you need?" Anyway, the guy was so embarrassed because of everybody looking at him. He just got in his car and left.
Well, that'll be a nice story at the church social this weekend. You be sure to tell that about the great grandmother. Thank you, Josh of Idaho. Jesus Christ!
Don't tell that story. Drop it over Iran. That fucking bomb you just fucking laid on. Jesus Christ!
By the way, congratulations to a rogue Amish group convicted of beard-cutting hate crime. At least, Shuli, that'd be nice if the Muslims would just do that. Just do some beard cutting,
Yeah, let's take it in stages, Muslims.
Yeah, they go overboard.
They forcibly cut people's
They
beard.
grabbed a guy, and they didn't think he was a Orthodox Muslim or whatever, not Muslim, but Amish, and they cut his beard, and that became a hate crime. There's three of them. Please look at their pictures. They're lovely men. But what I'm saying is, that's terrorism in the United States. Okay? That's what it's like. Now, by the way, they're going to get as many years as if they tried to blow something up. That's the funny part. But they cut the hate crime. Let's go to Greg, who's just about to graduate from a police agency.
I have a great beard news story if you want to hear it, too.
Wait 1 second. Greg, you're being trained to be a policeman. What are you exactly?
No. I've got over 25 years experience, and
yeah. What about you got the two cameras? You got perfect video, perfect audio. What was this guy thinking? I mean, he had to know that it had gotten out of hand when he was pulling the old lady.
This is a guy that literally has no concept on how to deal with people. Yeah. It is a tough business out here, and let me tell you, there's lots and lots of bad people, but there is no way this old lady was going to hurt this guy. If he can't control a little bit of conversation with someone without going to that extreme, that's what makes us cops look like total assholes to everybody in the public. This guy was out of control. She should sue his ass off.
Not to mention, we never got to hear her piss herself. So, it was just a loss all across the board.
I think she was lying about can I be honest? She was lying about the bladder infection.
Well, she's old. She's using her age.
No, she was lying. I think she's nervous.
She's using her age as an excuse, just like you broads use the bleeding thing as an excuse sometimes to get out of shit.
Don't pull my arm. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Don't pull my arm.
I'm not saying it's not a true thing. I'm just saying it can't happen all the time.
It's all the time.
No, Brad. What is the
sometime? Brad,
what is the oldest person you've dragged out of a car in your 26 years?
It's generally your people in your teens up to your 40s. I've never had to drag somebody anywhere in the 60s on up.
Let's say it was a 77-year-old black woman. Would that change your opinion?
No, I wouldn't care what
There you go. Thank God.
I need a 68-year-old black woman.
I know you do.
To be with, to hug.
No, not
I'd like a woman with heavy things all around.
Heavy things.
Greg, you know what's funny, Greg? I don't have a bad feeling about the police. I've been stopped. I've had all sorts of things happen to me. So I think most people are okay with cops. But you see, I think the movies and I think the people that say bad things about the cops are bad people themselves. I mean that. I don't have friends that say the cops are bad. Shuli, you have all your pals, all your friends go, the cops are bad?
No.
I don't have that.
No.
So you guys are a little, wait a second, Ira. You're a little insecure. That's all I'm saying. You're not, you should, give up on that insecurity. right? Am I right about that? It's
I think so, yeah.
Yes. Ira, do you hate the police?
The police have too much police brutality in this goddamn city.
Whoa,
frisk.
boy.
They only do is frisk. They shouldn't frisk.
Well, they shouldn't frisk. Then that's not No, look. When you're being frisked, there's no brutality
when
there.
they frisk people
Gianna,
with a plunger,
would you frisk?
that's brutality.
Would you please frisk Ira to show him what
Ira,
frisking is?
Put
Ira,
your
you
hands
don't know
up
what
against the
frisking
wall.
is.
I know
That
what
isn't
frisking is.
No, you're going to be frisked. Garrett, frisk him. Hey, Garrett, get the wallet. Get his wallet. Look at his wallet.
This is so wrong on so many levels.
Where are you now?
A lot of crack dealers. Gianna,
you're on the hip.
A lot of crack dealers hide their drugs in their nutsack. So check there.
Hey, Ira. Does that feel like brutality to you, Ira? No, that's...
Oh, it feels great.
Well, you see, Ira...
It feels great.
Now, Shuli, do you see this? All I had to do was show him what frisking is, and now he has another opinion of the police. He's changed.
Oh, my God, no. He's taking his wallet out.
Oh, wait a second. Wow. Garrett, he's not turning his wallet over to anybody, is he?
I thought he was trying to tip
Jay.
Yes, Ira.
Yesterday, I was in my favorite place, Yonkers Raceway.
Have you ever seen anybody get frisked at the raceway?
Nobody.
No one.
Nobody
now, after Christina, frisked you, do you now understand that isn't brutality?
Christina never frisked me. That is Gianna.
No, Gianna. I'm sorry, Gianna. After she did it, do you feel that
she did it
now?
Very, very beautifully.
Right. So that isn't police brutality, and that's all these criminals are yelling about. See, they're getting frisked just like you were. Okay.
That's right.
So I hope your opinion has certainly changed.
Officer, I have a weapon in my pants.
Let's go to...
Also, Jay, thanks for the frisk, Gianna. I finished 4 times twice.
All right. Our guests are coming up.
Jay,
How do you...
TGIF, thank goodness it is Friday.
That's right.
Friday.
How do you spot and kill a liar? Well, not kill them, but how do you spot them? We'll take a break and come back and do it, Al. Is that what we want to do?
Yep.
All right.
Humans, for the most part, don't have a clue.
Jay Thomas.
What's the matter? Don't you like to talk anymore?
Formerly portraying a hockey player on Cheers and currently portraying a radio host.
He hasn't been able to remember a line for the last 10 years. Howard 101.
Your name is?
Jay Thomas.
Hey,
Jay Thomas.
Howard 101.
Well, the world is filled with liars and cheats and thieves, and so let's welcome Greg Hartley and Marianne. Is it Carinch? How do you say your last name, Marianne? Carinch.
Yes.
Carinch. How to spot a liar, why people don't tell the truth, and how you can catch them. Now, I'll talk to Greg first. Greg, you helped the Navy SEALs and the CIA and everything catch liars?
Yeah, I taught body language and behavior and all other things associated with that in catching folks and interrogating. Yep.
So are you like a really good poker player?
You know what? I suck at cards, but I'm really good at the body language part.
Yeah. That's
got to be able to have a little bit of common sense about cards to be any good at it.
Yeah. Not much. I mean, the hard part is reading the people. And I
guess that's true. I do fairly well, even with very little good common sense about cards.
Yeah, that's where I do.
The first thing I notice, and Marianne, let me tell you if this is true, a person is speaking to you, they become defensive, and they fold their arms in front of them, and I usually comment, I can tell that you're, upset about this because your arms are folded in front. I actually say that. And they will admit it and pull their arms down. Am I correct about when you fold your arms in front of you, are you trying to stop the words from coming at you?
Well, sometimes people are trying to block out other people
Yeah.
who do that. Not all the time, but in that particular situation, if you've made them uncomfortable, that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah, look for a change is what you're after. It's a baseline change.
Right, that's when I see it after like a bit of an uncomfortable joke. You'll see a couple people.
What is a baseline change, Greg? What about crossing your legs? Or what other move? Let's say your wife is questioning you about where you were the night before. What moves do you avoid? Like, do you stay? Let's say, do I stay completely still with both my palms on my thighs and just sit completely still?
You want to learn how to be a good liar.
That's right.
That's exactly right. I want to. Where have you been? Where have you been?
Great liars? Ventriloquists. They don't move a muscle.
Avoid the words "and then" if she gets this book, because that's a good indicator that you're hiding a time frame. Look for what's normal for you. If you normally move your hands around a lot, if you normally, I've watched you enough. I know if you move your hands around enough when you're talking, talk like that. Don't slow down your hand movement. Don't slow down your gestures. Don't close your body language. You're looking for deviation from what's normal for the person. So, if you're the kind of person that wraps your body all the time, if you're standing around with your arms crossing your body normally, do that. But if you don't, move your hands. Keep your hands moving. And we're looking for change. Right?
Isn't another tip to be a good liar? This is like two teams competing. They're the ones spotting lies.
That's right.
We're giving tips on how to lie.
How not to get caught.
Right. I teach that too. So
but when you put details into whatever you're saying, like little details, that helps.
When you talk too much, you're the liar, right?
Too much detail, yeah. Methinks he doth protesteth too much. All of that. When somebody puts too much detail into a story, it's usually a good indicator. When somebody goes on and on and on trying to convince you, you know that they're BSing you. So, look out for that, too. Don't over-detail. Don't use words like "and then" that leave time behind. Don't omit facts, but don't get...
Wait, would you say that again? Don't do what? Use words that end in what?
Words that jump over details, words that jump over time. If you typically give a normal timeline for what you do every day, don't suddenly say, "and then I went and did this," because it's a good indicator that something's deviated in your storyline. If you usually tell your wife, "I went to the store, I picked up my clothes, I didn't eat," whatever, right? But if you go into normal detail that way and you jump over something, she'll know.
So if I go, I went to the store, I didn't get laid. That's
we
not
also
good,
look for whether or not you answered the question.
Right.
If you answer a completely different question.
Right. Or you can use the Bill Clinton lie, right? Just put as much distance between you and the actual denial as possible. That's a good indicator you're lying too.
Now, how to spot a liar, why people don't tell the truth, and how you can catch them. Marianne, when you are watching television, especially during this political season.
Oh, boy.
Would you say, and I don't care how many candidates we talk about, would you see a percentage of movements, and you two guys will look at each other and you'll go, well, they're lying? And what percentage do you see of candidates lying? Like if you said, I think half of that's
100%.
not...
Yeah, all of them lie.
No.
Yeah.
No, come on.
Oh, yeah,
when you
absolutely.
watch a political candidate, you think it's 100%.
No, we think 100% of people lie. It's not a matter of lying 100% of the time. All of them lie. It's just a matter of when they're lying.
Right. Look specifically when somebody gets asked a question that makes them uncomfortable, that all of a sudden their relationship with the information is changed and they're uncomfortable. Then look for the deviation from baseline. Look for the extra big movements, or the no movement at all, or the erratic eye movement.
Deviation from eye, yeah.
All right, well, let me take one. Suppose you were going to give a fact, and this is going to happen in the debates. So Romney is going to take one of his facts, right, and he is going to say it to Barack Obama, and then Barack Obama is going to say one of his facts. The reality is in the middle somewhere. Romney's fact is not exactly true, and Obama's fact is not exactly true. But they're doing it so they can gain a position. So are they lying, or are they being? I mean, what's weird is that why wouldn't you say to Mitt Romney, you are a devout Mormon, lying is a sin, and you have to stop doing it? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think what you're going to get to, though, Jay, with both of these guys, and it's the nature of this business, is they're going to give half-truths. They can, either one of them, I don't care what your religion is, they can get comfortable with a lie. Any one of them can say, here's the fact, and they can half-truth. That's not lying. I mean, people do it all the time to their wives. When your wife asks you, do these pants make my butt look big, you sure don't say yes, even if that's a fact, right? So we're all good at nuance of truth, and all they do is take the nuance of the truth. Now, I will tell you that how comfortable they are with the data and how prepared they are, there are ways to see that in their body language. When I'm watching, I can tell you if they prepared everything, or if they're answering off the cuff based on eye movement and based on posturing and change. Those are what you're looking for. You're looking for deviations of whether they're certain about what they believe, or they're actually just throwing data at you that someone's fed them.
Doctors, is it true that a lion's pants are on fire. And also,
I don't know what that means.
The more a girl lies to me, the bigger my schmeckle is.
All right. He's not a member of our program. Greg Hartley and
I'm
Marianne,
a member of a different program in the sky.
Yes. That's right.
Say that again.
Actually, he's the chairman of the board's cousin.
We're broadcasting from Mars.
We have to have him on, our boss.
How to spot a liar, why people don't tell the truth, and how you can catch them. Now, Greg and Marianne, are you two a couple?
No.
No.
Okay, good.
But we get along better than that.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure.
Who caught who lying first?
Well, it's funny. When I first met Marianne, I'm sure she thought I was crazy telling her all this. We started off as a team writing a book, and now Marianne can teach body language as well as I.
Well,
we are both a little on the strange side.
Well, I mean, how many people do you think Marianne Greg has waterboarded?
Just me.
Well, no. Immediately, when you said Navy SEALs, Defense Intelligence Agency, and all this stuff, it's almost impossible for me not to think that when you couldn't, if you knew they were lying and you need them to tell the truth, you got to give them a little zits.
Oddly enough, Jay, in my day, that was not acceptable. I left in 2000. I left in 2000. Only people I've ever done any of that kind of harsh torture to are American soldiers, teaching them to resist enemy interrogation. Now, I'm not going to tell you I've not been a pretty harsh son of a bitch to those folks, but, I mean, that's a different animal than doing something that people can't quit.
Hey, do they ever have you waterboarded so you know what it feels like? Do they do that to you?
I'll tell you, if you've ever seen Christopher Hitchens and the waterboarding that he went through.
Yeah, I've seen the video, the great writer who passed away like the last
that's one of my students doing that to him, so.
Hey, let me ask you guys this. Are you guys on Twitter? Because I think it would be a great idea if you guys were to get up on Twitter and during the debates, tweet live.
I am, yes.
Great idea. I think I'll do it.
Yeah, you should totally do it. I'd follow it just to be, fold his hands, lying. Boom. Like every lie, you just
that's a great idea.
Out him there on Twitter.
Let's give just three things, just three things, and before we say goodbye to How to Spot a Liar, just as people go about their business today, I gave you the folded arms. That's a sign that somebody's wants to shut you out, right? The other one is if they move differently than they used to, or if they skip over details, Greg, or give too much information.
Yeah, both. If they skip over more than normal, or if they give you more than normal, and then finally the best one: if somebody gives you piercing eye contact, you should be concerned. People don't do that.
It almost sounds like there's no way to not come off like you're lying.
Wait a minute.
If you look at them too long, if you don't
You're looking for discomfort.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. If I look at you that's one thing you're taught. You shake hands with someone, look them right in the eye.
Oh, yeah.
That denotes lying.
But not nailed eye contact that never breaks, right? A person who has piercing eye contact when they're talking to you and does not break eye contact, it's because our culture believes that lying means your eyes are moving around, which is absolute BS. If you learn...
Wait. Marianne, I thought that meant someone wanted to sleep with me. This is really bad news all of a sudden. Marianne, when you look at a man piercing in the eyes, trying to send the signal that you want to be with him, or vice versa, Greg is telling me that that's lying.
Well, part of this is cultural, but if somebody is staring at me, I have a feeling that he's probably not giving me the whole story.
Oh. He only watched you for your body? Is that what that sends, that signal?
What about looking up to the right or looking up to the left?
Yeah, I'll give you a really good example of that. There's no fact that looking up left means you're lying. Relax, let your eyes do what they do. What's the fifth word of the Star-Spangled Banner?
Oh, say, can you see?
And you'll find as you're listening, before you put your hand down and started counting, as you're listening to the words in your head, your eyes drifted slightly up into your left. The reason we know that your eyes move around when you're thinking and should do that when you're talking, and that's the reason we know that when you have piercing eye contact, you're trying to convince someone.
See, my eyes didn't move, and I came up with red glare. So is that...
I do that every morning.
All right. Greg Hartley and Marianne Carriage, thank you very much. How to Spot a Liar.
Oh, wait.
Why people don't tell the truth.
On line 7 has a good question. You should let him ask them. This is a good question.
Line 7, John of Las Vegas. Yes, John, go ahead.
Yeah, what if the person is so psychotic they honestly believe what they're saying is the truth?
Well, they don't make up enough details usually. They can give you the lies of commission, which typically what you're talking about, psychotics will make up. They have to create enough details to make the story believable, and if you ask the details, it'll come apart.
All right.
Oh.
Well, you know, one thing in
Nice
this
call,
book I'm
liar.
looking at, how to gain the upper hand in a salary negotiation. Look, unless somebody else needs you, you can't get a raise. Like, you can't go in and... That's a fact, right?
Yeah, that's
you
fact.
go in and you go, you can't say, I need it, we don't have enough money at my house, I deserve it, or whatever.
Right.
Unless you walk in and go, look, I just got a job offer and it's this money and you want to keep me. I mean, there is no more salary negotiation.
Well, the only thing is, people often, in corporate America, you run into people who have a dollar amount they can give you, and they'll hedge on that number. And we talk about that specifically, how you can find out what the real number is versus what they're hedging.
Really?
Yes. I mean, it's based on eye movement. It's based on a few other things, because humans, when you're calculating, when you're hedging, when you're looking and having internal conversation, your eyes move down into your left. If you try, for example, without rounding, to take 15% of 980, you'll find your eyes drifting slightly down into your left as you calculate.
Well, I'd love to study up on that, but there's not going to be any discussion.
Do you think anyone listening has ever believed a person at their office who looked at them and said, gee, I'm sorry, Ted, but we just don't have that. We can't, that's not in the budget. I don't think anybody's ever believed one boss ever or supervisor. It's true. I've had everything. Arms folded, looking me direct in the eye, looking down, looking at. They were lying. You feel as though they're lying.
Well, and this is just a good set of tools to look and know where they're lying and if they're lying. Right? That's the key.
All right. Okay, and then waterboard them. All right, Greg and Marianne.
Is Atlantic City.
Yes, that's exactly right. All right. By the way, we'll talk to folks on the phone. These are just some of the headlines. Thanks, the show is excellent. My cousin lives in an Amish town. I want to speak to that commie, Jay Thomas. Comments on a cop? Is a black person lying when they say truth?
I always tell the truth, even when I lie.
Yes, I know. All right,
Say goodnight to the bad guy.
Those are the telephone headlines. Stay where you are. Go ahead.
Everybody stop what you're doing, please. This is the Jay Thomas Show. We make little people big people.
Actually, I didn't really mean anything I just said.
Howard 101.
Jay Thomas.
Would you mind repeating that, Jay? This is the Jay Thomas Show. Howard
101. See, I think
George Washington was a white man.
By itself, yeah.
Adams and Jefferson, too. Abe Lincoln was a white man, probably. And William McKinley, the whitest of them all, shot down by an immigrant in Buffalo, and a star fell out of heaven. I'm dreaming of a white president, just like the ones we've always had. A real live white man who knows the score, how to handle money or start a war. Wouldn't even have to tell me what we were fighting for. He'd be the right man if he were everybody. I'm dreaming of a white president. Someone whom we can understand. Someone who knows where we're coming from. And that the law of the jungle's not the law of this land. Deepest, darkest Africa, 1903. Little boy says, Daddy, I just discovered relativity. Big eclipse is coming, and I'll prove it. Wait and see. You better eclipse yourself out of here, son. Find yourself a tree. There's a lion in the front yard, and he knows he won't catch me. Well, how many little Albert Einsteins cut down while in their prime? How many little Ronald Reagans gobbled up before their time? I don't believe in evolution, but it does occur to me. What if little William Howard Taft had to face a lion, or God forbid, climb a tree? Where would this country be? I'm dreaming. Things have never been this bad. So I won't run 110 seconds flat. So I won't have a pretty jump shot or be an Olympic acrobat. So I won't know much about global warming. Is that really where you're at?
Has he lost his fucking mind?
I don't know. The brightest. Well,
I don't know.
But he'll be the whitest, and I'll vote for that.
That's Randy Newman.
Yes.
Now, Garrett, this really is Randy Newman.
Yes, it is.
Here's my question.
Yeah.
How is Pixar going to incorporate this into their next animated movie? This is a tough song.
I know it's ironic. I know it's ironic, but not a lot of people won't get it as ironic, right?
Some of them win gold medals. Some of them run 10 seconds flat.
And he does have the thing in there that some brilliant black minds were snuffed out early, but I don't think the message gets there.
No. And
I think this may become this may become the new state song of Mississippi.
About 12 other states.
I think they're not going to get it, and it doesn't do what he wants it to do, right?
No. I've
listened to it 3 or 4 times,
and I halfway through I'm like, what the fuck is he doing?
I know.
What's wrong with him?
Yeah, but I think he means it certainly as a protest song and all of that.
He's using bigoted lyrics to make a political point about racism in America.
Yeah, good luck explaining that to the
Are you
team
reading that, Garrett?
Yes.
You just made that up out of your own little.
Little world.
It's a little wordy while you're getting stomped by 18 people.
All right, let's go now. First of all, Joe of Nashville.
Obama all the way.
Clearly, you didn't hear one
Joe
thing
of
we were
Nashville has
talking
been holding on for a long time, and we're going to have to go around the horn here. It says, thinks the show is excellent. By the way, speaking of around the horn, Gianna, earlier I said that Jesus said, my wife. And I didn't ask you what your around the horn answer would have been. My wife, what?
What he said?
Yeah.
Stifle it, Edith.
Wow. Okay, good.
Garrett sounds like it's like in the cartoons where they keep the pump going and something, and it's about to explode. The bike pump, and he's like.
Because Gianna felt left out earlier.
Left out?
Well, you
didn't go around the horn today. You did the other day.
Yeah, here we go. Do you think Shuli thinks the show is excellent from Joe in Nashville? How do you think this call is going to turn out?
So you're saying you think he might be lying just to get on
This
the
is
air?
what I think.
How long's it been on?
Hey, Dan the intern, I think the show is excellent.
Okay.
Can I tell Jay that? Watch this.
And then he gets on the air, and this is...
Scumbag,
Right.
Howard impersonator,
Right.
you know.
This is what he's going to say. Why don't you get cancer, die already, kike, and then hang up.
Garrett, how do you think it's going to turn out? Joe in Nashville thinks show is excellent on the telephone comments.
Yeah, he'll butter us up and then
drop the hammer.
The second we respond, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Let's go to Joe of Nashville. Yes,
Jay, you didn't
Wait a
go
minute.
all the way around the horn.
Joe. I'm sorry.
Shit.
What do you think's going to happen? Ira, what do you think's going to happen?
The show is number one.
All right, there you go. Joe of
Jay,
Nashville.
You,
all right.
Garrett,
I know.
Gianna, Shuli,
Garrett.
Big
All right.
Al, and Big
All right.
Dan.
All right. Yes, Joe, go ahead.
And the Big Al.
Jay!
Oh, boy.
Boy, hey, Dan, I'm just sitting in a tractor trailer. I listen to the show every Friday morning. It's damn good when Howard's on reruns. I listen to the replay, but the only main reason I call because I want to let y'all know there's 3 women in Sirius that I've been listening to on them radios with your show and Howard's that need a good mustache ride tater chipping.
Really?
And that's Gianna number 1,
Wow.
Robin Quivers number 2,
Yeah.
and Lisa G number 3.
Now, what do you want to do with them? You want to have some sort of three? You want to have
Explain the potato chip part.
What is a three-way mustache potato chip? How does it work?
Gianna needs gluten-free potato chip rice, by the way.
It's a mustache potato chip. What? How does it work now?
Mustache potato chip ride. That means they sit on my face, have their little moment when it's all over my face. I sit in front of a window fan, let it dry, peel it off, and eat it like potato chips. Come on.
Man, I got to tell you, this is the best call we've ever had.
Well, not only did he explain it perfectly, but he explained it as a man who's done it. You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah.
Man.
When's the last time you did the
that's a mustache.
Guys in Manhattan are so boring.
Yeah.
That's a mustache potato chip ride. Wow.
That's it.
All right.
That's what
Thank
I'm
you,
talking
sir.
about.
I'm very flattered.
Thank you, Joe, very much. Thank you.
I like when the callers teach us
Let's go
something.
to
Yeah, that's what I like.
Arnold Short Dick of Texas. Yes,
Hey,
Arnold. It says,
Arnold, is your dick short or what?
all right.
Whoa,
Quiet. It
zinger!
says, wants to talk to the commie, Jay Thomas. Go ahead, Arnold Short Dick.
Hey, Jay.
Yeah.
You're on the Commie in the Morning show.
Yes.
Hey, I'm calling in to defend my actions on that old bitch that wouldn't get out of the damn car.
He's the cop.
You have the floor, Mr. Short Dick.
From Keene County, yeah. Yeah, you pulled her arm and everything. You shouldn't have done any of that.
Hey, I asked that old cunt to get out of the car. She wouldn't get out of the car.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Arnold Short Dick.
We'll
from
let you
Texas.
get back to that tater ride, sir.
Let's go to Gilbert, who's in the Ozarks and wants to comment.
Poor
on
Gilbert.
the cop. Yes, Gilbert, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, just now you said, you shouldn't have done that, but earlier I got the impression that you thought it was funny or didn't really care.
Yeah, pulling the old. Yeah, you know what? She was an old bitch. She should have done what she was told. The guy had a fight with his wife, and it was a
perfect storm, man. Perfect storm.
It was a perfect storm of a sad situation.
Yeah.
Oh, my arm! Ow!
You're hurting my arm.
Yeah.
Fucking terrorist.
What's that?
Terrorist?
What?
I said, you're more likely. There was a study that you're I think 3 times more likely to be a cop than a terrorist in this country. We have an industrial prison situation where we have more people in prison than ever before.
Are you in Arkansas? Are you calling from Arkansas?
No, Missouri.
Oh, you're in Missouri. I see.
Yeah, the police state have control. That cop is a piece of shit. Who cares if cops are getting killed? Cops are killing civilians. Fucking with cops.
Wait a second. You're actually calling up with some kind of fucking maniac, Occupy, some bullshit statement against the police? Go fuck yourself. Get rid of this fucking asshole. You know what? He's from Missouri. Play the Arkansas Hog song for him, please.
Just look at that face. Isn't he pretty?
This is for this guy
That's
from
an
the
Arkansas
Ozarks.
Razorback right there.
Yeah, you hate Arkansas, don't you? Missouri. You know what? This is what I wake up to every morning. This gets me going.
Okay, Razorback fans.
Here we go, Razorback fans.
And win every game. The rest
You see the hat she's wearing?
Let's go, Hog. Let's go.
Let's go, Hog. Woo, suing. Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Welcome to the fantasy stage. Hog, she's dancing. Put tips on the hips, buddies, for the honeys.
There you go. That's the Hog lady singing "Ain't No Stopping Us Now."
She really does have a pig nose, this broad.
Yeah.
Doesn't she?
Yeah.
Is this a spin class?
Yeah.
We've got it.
All right.
So many things that held us down. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it looks like
It's great. She's using the same microphone that she works the drive-through window at Hardee's.
This is because Arkansas was beaten 52-0 by Alabama on Saturday. So they're trying to lift up their spirits. That's what's supposed to do it.
Imagine that's your life.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. That's good. Let's go to William, who's in Virginia. Yes, William, it's Jay Thomas.
Hey,
yes.
Willie, it's going to be around 75 degrees.
Wow.
Around the
Do you like to be called, hey, William, do you like to be called Willie?
Sometimes depends on who's calling it to me.
They do call you.
Anybody ever call you Sweet Dick Willie?
Nah.
Well, somebody just did.
All right, William, go ahead.
The other night we had a situation Wednesday night down here with some police on old woman brutality. A woman called the police. She was like 83, 84, in Alta Vista, Virginia, and she saw somebody breaking in her house, so she had her pistol out. And when the cops got there, she wanted home, so she told them she was at her sister's house, like 2 houses down. So they went down there, and she still had the gun in her hand. They told her, put the gun down. She wouldn't do it, so they shot her ass and killed her.
Get out of here.
Oh, that's lousy, man.
No, wait a minute. She had called the cops about a robber, and she goes down to her sister's house. Now, these stories just sound impossible to believe. Why wouldn't she put the gun? Did they say why she wouldn't put the gun down?
Well, they said that the state police was investigating it, and they said she was just waving it around, and they kept telling her to put it down, and she kept waving the gun around, so they just shot her and killed her.
No good. No good.
Can't shoot her in the leg.
You know what I would do? I would go back to the police car and wait until she stopped waving the gun around.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I'm just like,
I don't. Garrett, can we look this story up? He said it happened in Virginia.
To death.
Horrible. Absolutely.
Those police used too much.
Now they
don't.
No, don't start.
I can cry
here
right
we go.
now, Jay.
Oh my God!
I mean this. I can cry. And they kill a person like that, and all the person like that. I can cry. It's like killing my grandmother.
You're so upset by the woman being gunned down in Virginia. Well, she had a gun, Ira. She was waving the gun around.
It doesn't mean nothing. They could have taken the gun away.
He's really
from
crying,
her.
isn't he?
What's the matter with them?
Ira, she's part of the Mexican cartel. You know that?
Ira, please, don't get so upset, all right?
Very, very upset.
I know you are, but you know what?
Would $20 for a slot machine cheer you up?
You know what, Gina, why don't you frisk him again?
Yeah, Gianna, frisk him again, please.
Give him another frisk.
I think you're hiding something, Mr. Ira.
On the morning show at Fox and Friends, I didn't realize this, but the perky little blonde was a Miss USA, right? So
then she must know a lot about news.
Well, it's weird. I didn't know that but when they went down, now maybe all of you have seen this, when they went down to Tampa for the Republican convention, they found this young guy who said he used to be for Obama, and now he's for Romney. Have you seen this yet?
I heard about it. This guy was a phony, right?
Yeah, but he's so obviously phony.
And they ran with it.
They will not cut away from it. And it's almost like he compliments her in the beginning, and so she kind of likes him. And then she just stays with it. Do you have it, Al?
One of the most infamous lines from the speech at the Republican National Convention by Congressman Paul Ryan. The unemployment rate for that age group, the young people, is double that of the national average, leaving many voters under the age of 24 living at home with mom and dad. So will that swing former Obama supporters, the young people, to the Romney-Ryan ticket? Joining me now is a recent college grad, Max Rice. He voted for President Obama. Now he's unemployed and just moved out of his parents' home.
Bitch.
Good morning to you, Max.
Hello, Miss USA. It's an honor.
Miss America.
I wish I could see you.
But close enough.
Miss America. Miss Universe in my book.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you very much. Now, tell me your story. You believed in the hope and change of President Obama, and so you voted for him. And tell me about the next 3.5 years.
I was a huge Obama supporter in 2008. I met him in 3rd grade. Met him when I was little.
Okay. And why now are you supporting Mitt Romney?
What's your question?
Why now are you supporting Mitt Romney?
Why am I supporting Mitt Romney? It's actually a funny story. I lost a basketball game to a friend of mine, Alex Dern, who's a huge supporter of this show.
Okay, so it sounds like you're not being very serious.
I'm also disappointed in the direction that Obama's taking this nation. But I will be casting my ballot for Mitt Romney.
Okay. And is it true that you had to go back and live with your parents after you graduated from college?
Unbelievable. What an idiot.
Oh, yeah. After I went to college for a bit, I had to go back and live with my parents this summer. I'm back on my own. Independent. I'm on national TV. I feel like I'm doing good. It's an honor.
Okay. Well, are you being serious about this interview or not?
What do you think, stupid?
Okay.
What's her name?
I see your face right now. This is so weird.
Dummy
All right.
McGee.
Well, actually, we're going to wrap this up now because I'm not so sure that you're actually being totally serious about...
I am. Wait. Why not?
Yeah, I'm not
He
sure,
got her to
I'm
stop.
not sure that you're ready for prime time yet.
Why not?
With this interview.
I'm not ready for prime time. Wait, I
was born for you.
All right. We're going to give Max another chance maybe when he's ready to do the
It's
interview.
Gretchen
In the meantime, coming up on Fox and Friends.
What's her name?
Gretchen Carlson.
Now, either they didn't have anything to go to or no spots or something. Why would this woman just keep this guy on?
I would have ended it at, what's up?
What's up?
What's up?
And he was the worst actor, and he said his friend's name, right?
Yeah. My friend Baba Booey.
Yeah.
He loves your show.
First of all, the guy could have said anything. He could have, him after. He could have done anything. So she was just and by the way, she was going to make that 8 minutes pass.
You shave those meat curtains? I don't think this is legitimate.
Wait, why? What? Hold on. What? Stephen Dick Jr. from the Night Moves strip club says that he has been, stripped of, I guess, a protection under
Do you
the
think
New
Dick
York
is a
State
stage name?
sales tax exemption. No, it's really his name. Look at his face. It really is his name. And these are art performances, and he should not pay taxes. We'll talk to him next.
Help me, please.
The Jay Thomas Show.
Do not panic. I repeat, do not panic.
Spotting tattoos on douchebags.
You don't recognize a situation when you see it?
Howard 101. So what's your name? Jay Thomas.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
This is the Jay Thomas Show.
Jay Thomas.
You understand what I'm saying to you?
Howard 101.
In upstate New York, Route 9, not so far from New York City.
Bitches.
Yeah. NightMovesNewYork.com. Let's welcome Stephen Dick Jr. To the show. Stephen,
hello, Mr. Dick. How are you?
Hello.
You are fighting the state of New York for a sales tax. And before we get into it, explain why is it you've decided that you don't owe this certain tax to the state at your strip club.
All right. Well, good morning, guys.
And lady.
And lady. Yes. Okay. New York State has a sales tax on the place of admission or price of admission to a place of amusement, with the exception of theaters for movies, plays, music, or dance.
Right.
And when they say theater, they mean any place of public assembly. And it can be, a field like for Woodstock. That was still considered a theater.
They don't charge a sales tax for a concert.
Correct. Or for ballet.
Or for an art show or whatever. But they charge a sales tax for you because you sell booze? Is that why?
We're a juice bar. We don't even sell booze.
You're a juice bar?
Yeah.
Wow. And so, yes, I agree with you. How much tax do they say you owe them?
In total, for the whole 2 audit periods, would be close to $700,000 now.
If you lose, will you pay them in wet, stripper money? How do you get that kind of cash? Now wait,
dollars with your face on them, funny money.
I was going to say that if you had booze, I can imagine that being a sales tax, or maybe the juice too. Why is it you don't have a liquor license? I mean, I guess
Are
you
they
make
fully
good
nude?
Yes, it is. That's the key.
Yeah, full nude. Yeah.
You mean if you're going to be a fully nude place...
If vaginas are out, you cannot have a bar
That's right.
that sells
New York
drinks.
state law. Well, actually, it's not even the state
Is
law.
that because they're afraid that the drunks would jump on stage and attack the women?
We're going to guess that's the reason. A lot of states have the same rules.
Wow.
It's weird. And when you go to other states...
I guarantee
aren't they
you.
worried about insertion as well?
Sorry. What was that?
Aren't they worried about insertion as well?
I don't think so.
Like a guy trying to open his bottle? But in Vegas, Jay, they had fully nude strip clubs, but again, they didn't have a bar, but you could bring a cooler with your own drinks.
I don't think
Stephen, can you bring booze into your juice juice bar?
Vegas, California, New York all have similar laws, yeah.
I could bring a bottle of booze in.
No,
No?
You can't have a BYOB in any of them. In New Jersey, you can.
Yeah, they don't give New Jersey. They don't give a shit. You can do anything.
So when you say totally nude, they take everything off. Can they bend over and show you, their opening? They can show you their openings.
Yeah, Massachusetts, they don't allow that technically, but yeah. New York,
and just because I have to be honest, I would rather have my faculties about me and have a juice to be able to really examine the openings. Gianna, I would, instead of having, you're drunk, you're kind of bleary-eyed, and you might not, get the full picture,
Maybe you want some beer goggles, though.
Yeah, go
Mr.
ahead.
Dick, how is your brother's Andy?
No, Andy. Are you related to the Andy Dick family?
I don't believe we are.
It is funny that you're in the strip club business and your last name is Dick. I mean, you've got to admit.
Odd. What was it before? Snatch?
He isn't lost on me.
Yeah. Now, have you ever thought of changing your name to Penis or something else?
Snatch?
Something maybe you considered it, but then said, well, I don't think that...
Stephen Fuzzy Lap Flounder. What about that one?
Yeah.
That ain't bad.
Yeah. Now, Stephen Dick Jr., this is, that's a lot of money, $700,000.
Yeah.
And you've been, this has been going on for how long?
About 8 years now.
Okay, 8 years. And are they threatening you with jail if you don't pay these taxes?
No, they're just threatening to basically seize anything that any of my heirs make until the end of existence.
Right.
That's about all.
When do you think you're going to get a ruling on this, or have you actually had a judge and jury make a decision yet?
No, the ruling should be out in the next month or two, so we're just going to sit back and wait. It's gone all the way to the Court of Appeals in New York, so there's 7 judges all sitting around debating on, do we treat exotic dancing the same as we do the ballet now?
Why not?
I said the same thing. My lawyer said the same thing. If you're going to start making exceptions and saying what things count and what don't, there's a lot of music out there that a lot of other people don't think should count either. So,
well, what about the art museum in New York? They made a picture of I think, Christ or the Virgin Mary out of elephant shit. Did you bring that up in your lawsuit?
We didn't go that way with it.
Well, you should have.
The problem you get into is, one, we did mention the New York State should not be in the business of being an art critic or a dance critic.
Well, they had 2 naked women at one of the museums, right? Right, Shuli? And to get in the room, you had to walk past the 2 naked women. They called that art. They were sitting there, and maybe it was a guy and a woman. You had to, scooch past them.
I knocked one of them up. I called it bad art.
Yeah. You're going to win this lawsuit. Now, look, I see a contest you got coming up on September 27th, our Bear As You Dare bikini contest. How does that work?
Well, all the local clubs run an amateur night, and we said, well, we just wanted to do it a little different. When you call it that, everyone never shows up actually as an amateur. It's just everyone from every other club makes it their audition night.
So this Bear As You Dare, I would bring Gianna with me, and how does it work?
Well, the local radio station that partnered with us, they come in, and they MC as a special guest.
What happens on the stage? I don't need all that about the station stuff. If I decided to come there, the place would be jammed with juice lovers.
Yes.
I'll have a coconut juice if you don't mind.
But,
if I bring Gianna and she gets on stage, how do we win this $500 prize?
90 seconds on stage dancing. And if she decides to go below a bikini, well, she can bear as much as she dares.
Mr. Dick!
Well, do most women bear?
Actually, no. It's a pretty easy split.
Because their boyfriends are there with them,
right? So I can easily win, Jay.
Sometimes the sisters or husbands.
Or what about if I were to bear as she was bearing, and at the end of the 90 seconds, both of us, my penis is out and her vagina is just staring everybody in the face? Do we win $1,000 for that? Would that be a grand?
That would be a grand time, I'm sure, but no.
Well, really?
New York would actually have a problem with that. New York has a separate law for men and women on nudity.
Hey,
you mean my penis? Wait a second. Wait, excuse me one second. My penis can't be out in the audience, while her vagina is out on
But
stage.
anytime. You can never be out at any time in public.
Thank God.
Is the criteria
My penis can never be out at any
It's
time.
discriminated against.
Is the criteria for winning the person who's the most naked or the person
No.
who's most attractive?
Honestly, we pick 5 random judges out of the audience, and we let them make their own opinion on what matters to them, on what makes them the most attractive.
Jenny Knight.
Yeah.
Will you up the prize money to $2,000 if Gianna shoots confetti out of there and Jay sits and waves as if he's going in a ticker tape parade?
You would still get $500 because my appearance fee is $15. Yes, go ahead, Ira.
Jay.
Yes, Ira.
Mr. Dick.
Yes.
I'm an artist. You should see how I paint the inside of a sock after watching the Golden Girls.
All right, let's go to nightmovesnewyork.com. Stephen Dick Jr., please contact us so we can find out the outcome of this incredible. Will it go to the Supreme Court, do you think?
We hope not. I mean, we hope we're going to win at this level. We've won.
Yeah.
Then the state appealed it and overturned it, and now we're going to the highest court in New York. If we win here, then it's over. If we lose, we'll have to ask the U.S. Supreme Court to get involved, but we just don't know if they will.
Right.
You'd love it. You're not paying for it.
No, I know. I'm sure you're
Mr.
paying
Dick,
for it.
where are you from, ma'am, please ask?
Originally, I was born in Boston, but I've lived near Albany, New York since since '87.
Now, are you married with a family and you're a nightclub owner?
Still single.
You're single?
Yeah, and when you're working 80, 90 hours a week, it's kind of hard to do
And
much
you're
else.
700G in the hole.
Now, wait a second. Now. when you do these auditions for the women, and I know it's all on the up and up and everything else, I mean, I'm looking at a picture of her. You're not the most attractive man in the world, but you're quite wealthy. I'm not attractive either. When they come on to you, how difficult is it to separate that?
Well, it's not. I'm sure he bangs the shit out of him. Why would I?
No, you can't admit that. No, that's against the law. You can't do that.
Wait, hold on.
No, you can't do that. You got to be very careful.
Hold on.
If he sleeps with a girl and doesn't hire her, she can take you up on charges, can't she?
Yeah.
But what about a girl who's already working there? Can you sleep with them?
No.
And then if you let them... No, that's
it's
collusion.
not the corporate office of fucking, McDonald's.
It is, though. It is. They are treated the same way.
Yeah, they're employees of the company.
Betcha.
Yeah, you have to be
It
careful.
is sex discrimination.
Do you have an HR department over there?
Yeah.
Well, we do outsource that, but yeah.
Night Moves New York. If you're up, what are you near Albany or
Right
in
outside Albany, yeah.
Right out. So all of the politicians, more Republicans or Democrats, come into the strip club.
It's a pretty even mix up there.
Even mix.
Let me ask you this: did Elliot
Why don't you yell
Spitzer ever come?
Oh,
I
that's
don't believe so. Yeah, I don't believe so.
Ira, what a great question. Wow.
Well,
Man.
he used to.
You think that's great? Wait till you hear his follow-up. Just give me a minute.
Did Joe Kennedy's, what's it, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s, that wife that killed herself, she ever come in there loaded and take her clothes off?
Again, I don't believe so.
No? Okay. All right. Well, thank you. Night Moves New York. Stephen Dick Jr., we hope you win the lawsuit, okay?
Thank you. So we've got a good feeling on it, but we'll know for sure in the next month or two.
And we have carte blanche in there if we
what
come
day
down.
is the contest?
The contest is coming up next Thursday, the 27th.
Mr. Dick, another one little thing that I have to say is...
Yes.
If Princess Kate danced at your club, you would be charged a flat tax.
All right. There we go. Okay, thank you very much.
Have a beautiful day, Mr. Dick. You were wonderful.
Has he been the best dick you've ever had?
Yes.
Wow, very nice.
We'll be right back.
Hey, you know what you need?
The J. Thomas Show, making nobodies into somebody's...
Yes, folks, this is an actual experiment.
Howard 101. The J. Thomas Show.
J. Thomas.
What a ridiculous way to start a day.
J. Thomas. Howard 101.
Never good when The husband and wife fight in front of the child, but a Hooters waitress from Pensacola faces multiple charges after allegedly beating her ex-boyfriend with his own prosthetic limb.
Damn, that's cold.
Jadian Faye Marie Hatfield, 23, and Brandon Fleming ended their relationship. According JD, Jadian, Jadian Faye Marie Hatfield. She's adorable, the picture of her. And I guess they were arguing over custody of a child, perhaps, or the child might have been nearby. The next thing you know...
what limb is prosthetic? His arm, his leg?
Leg, I think.
Oh, that's even better. So now the guy, she takes the leg, he falls, he can't run.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Easy picking.
She sent me a text message that said, I'm going to be 6 feet under, just like my mama. I don't know. I don't know what all that means. And then the fighting began.
Can you imagine you're sitting in a Hooters, right? She's your server. You're with your buddies. And then you see her go, excuse me 1 second. She goes out in the parking lot. You watch her rip a prosthetic leg off a guy, beat him with it, and you look at your friends and you go, yeah, we should probably tip her pretty well today, right? Probably maybe 40, 60% tip.
He says he was on the phone when the ex-girlfriend snatched the toddler out of a bedroom window. Then he jumped out of the window and ran to her car to take the boy back. When he opened the door, 2 unidentified men, armed with a PVC pipe and a wooden shaft, grabbed him and held him down in the back seat. Then she joined in the melee, pulling his prosthetic limb off and using it as a weapon. Jesus, what a battle. So 2 guys are beating him in the car, and then she's hitting him in his back. Meanwhile, the baby is watching all of this. He lost his foot in an accident 7 years ago. So she's a Hooters waitress. So that's
and I bet the kid was super traumatized, and it goes back to my invention that everybody thinks is ridiculous.
Really?
That for people with prosthetic limbs, we make piñata prosthetic limbs. Because look, for example, this is going on. The kid's watching their dad getting jumped, and she's hitting him with a leg where candy's pouring out of it. Do you think the kid's crying then?
Nope.
No. You think the kid has a bad memory of that experience after that?
Nope.
Nope.
And our featured death of the day is a Pakistani who was burning an American flag and died from the fumes. That's our feature death of the day. Do you have that story, Garrett? Do we have a complete story? And it's coming over the,
I had another story for you about a guy eating his beard, being forced to eat his beard.
Was it an Amish thing?
No, it was a redneck thing, which makes it even better.
We have that if you want.
They cut his beard off and made him eat it?
Yeah, you got to hear this.
Go ahead, I'll listen.
Pretty good guess. At least that's what Harvey Westmoreland and his brother Joseph used to think about former friends Troy Holt and James Hill. That was before May of last year on Willisburg Road, where Holt used to live.
My brother was cleaning out the stalls out there for Troy, working for him. And they want me to come around there. Well, when I get there, I realize that they're already drunk.
And of all things to fight about, Westmoreland says, punches started flying over this lawnmower.
Troy offered to buy it from me for $250. I paid $20 for it. He thought I was trying to cheat him. One thing led to another, and before I knowed it, there was knives and guns. Everything just went haywire.
He says his brother had a mark on his neck where a knife was held, but Westmoreland's loss was more permanent.
They cut my beard and forced me to eat it.
He says Holt and Bill let them go, but threatened them.
If we called the police, they said we would not live to see daylight.
But that wasn't enough to keep the 2 brothers from calling 911.
I believe in the law. I believe that justice has been served.
Wow.
And it will be after Tuesday.
That's the sentencing date. And while it'll take some time for some things to grow back to normal,
it's not as long as it was.
He's got a Confederate flag on his hat.
Yeah, his hat says Southern style, and the brim is a Confederate flag.
Well, that's our flag.
I'll give you some mushrooms for your beard.
I'll give you some mushrooms for your
Totally
beard.
ad-lib.
Right.
The best part is as soon as he starts talking, it says his name for the news, and then underneath it says, forced to eat beard.
Why doesn't it say Frosty Dicks?
Wow.
Now,
what's going on with you?
For those of you who know who Mad Dog is, he had a big partner in New York, Mike and the Mad Dog. They were very famous. And they broke up, and he ends up at Sirius, right? So this Mike guy is still back on the air, Mike Francesa, and you have to live in New York.
Yes Network, Jay.
That's right. You have to live, in New York to understand why, when you hear this guy's voice, anybody would listen to him.
This is Mike Francesa.
That's right, weird word. But he's also got one of these morning shows where there's a camera there, right? So it's run over TV. He apparently fell asleep during the show while a phone call was going on, and you can see his eyes close on the video if you look at it on the internet. But then when he wakes up, he, of course, obviously you're a radio announcer, you can't admit, even if he did fall asleep. He says he didn't. Let's listen to him. He'll fall asleep, and then people start calling the station. So go ahead.
Mike on Long Island. What's up, Mike? Yes, Mike.
Oh, sorry about that. I fell asleep when you started talking about swinging nerdy.
Oh, God. Listen, I'm not... Listen, once... the next one is gone. Well, you're gone anyway, because I'm not in the mood. Ken on the call phone. What's up, Ken?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Good.
Just want to talk about how I don't think the Mets are going to re-sign David Wright. But I also, real quick, I also know you're a big movie buff. And for the kids, you should probably watch the Smurfs because they probably love Sleepy. It's just like their dad. You know what I'm saying?
Another real good joke, yeah. Charlie in Queens. What's up, Charlie?
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, Dylan.
What's up?
NFL Network, Mike. It's a snooze fest anyway. The NFL Network half the time. Come on.
No, you need games. They got games every week now on it, though.
Well, but I'm saying when there's not a game on and then...
Yeah, but now they have a game every week.
Now, but then 9 months out of the year, it's a real snooze fest. You're better off MSG Network. You watch old Sleepy Floyd, Hakeem Dream. You know what I mean? And that guy wanting Paterno would be in trouble.
Let's see how many references you can make till the audience realizes what you're doing.
You fucking moron.
What a fool. What a fool. People are just stupid. I mean, they're just silly. They really are. I would really kind of hold off on the Montana comparisons, okay? And let's be honest.
I don't want you to get narcolepsy.
The Bills.
He just keeps talking.
I've been doing this show. I've been doing this show for 25 years, 5.5 hours a day, and now we're going to talk about 12 seconds, okay? When I was up all night. So let's let that.
If you would just address it, nobody would.
Queens, what's up, Justin?
Yeah. Hey, what's up, Mike?
What's happened?
Listen, I'm in the car listening, and I just heard the interview with Ojeda.
Mm-hmm.
By any chance, did you fall asleep?
Okay. Got anything else you want to add?
No, I gotta be honest. Your eyes were hilarious on that thing.
Anything else you want to add?
Mike, it was priceless. Mike.
Anything else you want to add?
He doesn't know how to hold up.
Do you want to add?
Yeah, have fun with
it. I asked you once, and I asked you again. Do you want anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Your eyes were priceless, Mike.
Well, you know what? I'm glad you liked that 10-second video. And if that's what you take out of 25 years of my career, you know what? That's kind of sad.
God.
Yeah. It speaks to you, not me.
What an idiot.
And you sat there an hour to say that. An hour to make that point. Well, I hope you had a good time, because it didn't bother me at all. Kenny
of course not.
No, you know what's funny, though?
No sleep.
Yeah, he is very cranky, but also... It just sounds like he's not. It sounds like he's not a professional announcer.
Right.
He sounds like some guy that was embarrassed.
He's been tweaked. How do you let him tweak you? Never let him.
He ought to be laughing.
Man. Yeah.
He ought to go. Man, I apologize. I've never done that in 25 years. I nodded off. It's no. And I would have just laughed. He wouldn't have gotten any. And if he got the phone calls, it's a more fun show if he laughed at it.
It'd be the only time I listen to his fucking show, is if he would take those calls.
Gianna.
Yes.
Gianna, do my pants make my hog look huge?
Silent H.
What? What is all that? What is the matter with you? Ira, the things you're saying are rude and unnecessary, and they have a sexual content that I don't think belongs here. Yes, what? You've got to stop it. You're about to get in some real trouble here. You can't speak that way to a woman.
Jay!
That's not going to stop
Today is the 21st of September.
That's right.
There's a new store opening up on 14th Street called Burlington Coat Factory.
Actually, that store's been around for a while.
They're on 23rd. They open up a flagship
we're not. Hold it a
store.
minute. We're not giving a commercial for a coat company. Are you nuts? You can't do this. No, you can't do it. How much time do we have left in this show?
Well, remember S. Klein's on the square?
90 seconds.
90 seconds. It'll be the longest 90 seconds. You've got to stop with the sexual reference. No. Ira, stop with the sexual references and stop with the phony ads.
All right, Jay.
Can't do it. All right? My God.
Right. I'm inviting you for donuts and coffee after the show.
Let's go to Matt, who's in Cape Cod. Yes, Matt, go ahead.
That's Mike, actually.
Hey, yeah, Mike in Cape Cod. Go ahead.
Hey, Mike, do you have any fishes or what?
All right.
Yeah, I got crabs.
All right. I want some whitings.
Go ahead, Mike.
Hey, I was just wondering if you'd be interested in knowing how many times you say you know.
Do you have a count? Do you have a count for us?
Yeah, but I've been on hold, so I might have screwed up. You're close to about 82.
I got to stop doing
Jay, I just want to
25
say...
in the first hour.
But wait a minute. When do I say it? I say 25 in the first hour. When do I say you know? How do I use it?
First 15 minutes, it was 25.
Here's 86. You know, you should get out of the house more and do something other than count how many times.
Wait a second.
Jay says you know.
When do I say it, though? When do I say it?
No, I don't know.
So I just say you know. Is that true, Shuli? I say you know all the time?
Yeah, you do say you know. You know what? Actually, you do.
You know? No, Gianna, do I say you know?
Regardless, I enjoy the show.